it's funny that you put this on because a lady was watching this movie next to me on the plane coming back from the job.
This
funny.
is a great rainy. This is a great rainy day movie, man. This, you got a little time.
Why? Because it's in Seattle?
Yep.
Yep. It's in Seattle.
That's why this movie is bullshit, because it doesn't rain enough.
At all.
Doesn't rain,
It
period.
rains once, I think. Maybe. It's like a drizzle. It's like, no, that's not an accurate
Oh, gosh, darn it.
representation.
Trey likes to put the movie in fast forward.
The triggers on my PS4 controller are
You get some
still
extra.
really working. Holy moly.
Those are hair triggers right there.
Yeah. So all of you who thought I was cheating in Call of Duty, I just have
Really good
triggers.
controllers. Is that one red too? You
Yes.
see red? Okay, awesome. Everybody red? We're not screwing this one
Red
up this
team
week.
go. Red team
no.
go. Yeah.
Anyways, welcome back to another episode of Nostalgia Land. Thank you for joining us. I'm Matt. As always, enjoyed by Trey and Tyler.
Hey.
This episode and any episode we're hoping is not officially brought to you, but it's bringing us joy. Saturday.
Yeah, baby.
Yay,
Vodka.
Trey's having this.
Yeah, one of us. One of us.
Let's go.
I got my cup too.
Yes.
I brought my cup this
Doc's
week.
on vacation, which means no cutting tomorrow.
Yay.
For people who don't know what you're talking about, that's going to sound weird. But let's keep going. Anyways.
I'm sure if you listen to our full catalog, you'll find the episode where we talk about what Trey does.
When we mention every week why I'm not drinking.
Why aren't you here? Oh, well, I got to go.
I gotta go. Custody open. For science. It's for science.
It's all for science. It's to do no harm, right?
Yeah.
That's the rule.
That's the first rule.
Did you have to take that oath?
Yeah.
There was
Of
an oath,
course.
right?
The
You have to?
Hippocratic
The
oath.
Hippocratic.
Okay.
It's
Now
why
it's
is it the
become
Hippocratic Oath? Because it was written by Hippocrates.
now it's become the Hippocratic Oath.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Kidding.
Dang.
I love doctors.
I just don't like. I don't think people hate dentists. It's just the sound of that drill.
I've recently developed a really bad aversion to the dentist, and I
Really?
still go, but man, it takes and I tell him, because at least this one dentist that we found, he's super cool about it. He's like, I understand people don't like dentists. If you have an appointment, just let me know. I'll write you a quick prescription for a little Xanny.
Yeah,
and you can go in, have that little Xanny, pop it before you come in, and it'll be cool.
Yeah, a lot of them have started using Valium now.
Yeah, well, he's gonna start hiding it in a piece of cheese for me or something. That's what I feel
Like a dog.
I gotta have this before I get in this
Take your pill, Matt.
stupid chair.
Take your pill.
Ooh, peanut butter.
And it's never like. I've never gone in for anything major except I had my wisdom teeth taken out, but that's it. But I didn't even do. I just did general anesthesia. I didn't even go under.
That's
just
general. You did local anesthesia.
local anesthesia. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, doctor.
Or your anesthesiologist sucks.
Yeah. Hey, I'm still awake. I can feel that. I can still
Ow.
feel that. Ow. Hey.
Dude, one time I went to we have a great dentist down here. But I went in and
He doesn't take insurance.
he was no, that's the thing. He was gonna pull a tooth because as the tooth broke the skin but stayed there forever, so it was allowing food to get up in the gum.
That's
and
what I had.
It rotted the tooth like there was nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, this happens, so we'll just take it out. Once it came in, and he gives me the shot of Novocaine, and I'm lucky, I don't have a lot of pain in my mouth. If I have a cavity or something, I don't have a lot of pain in it. And he's like, can you feel this? Can you feel this? I'm like, I can feel that you're touching it, but I can't really feel it. I can feel the pressure. And he's like, okay, well, let's give you a little bit more. I swear this dude pulled out a whole nother shot and stuck it all up in there. For 12 hours, half of my face was I felt like I had stroke or Bell's palsy or something. I'm JR from WWE back in the day.
No, you talk the rest of the day, kind of
Yeah, I'm drooling.
Kind of sound like droopy dog.
I needed a spit cloth.
Yes, that's it. You take a sip of water, just yeah. No, I'm the same way. Apparently, I'm a fast metabolizer of that stuff, and so halfway through him trying to get out 1, 2, and 3, I was like, hey, feel it again. He's like, let's double that up. And he just gave me 2 more. And I was like, all right.
And he said metabolizer. All I thought was Ben Stiller and Dodgeball. Oh, now he's a philosopher.
Oh, no, he's a philosopher. Well,
Matt was there for my most unpleasant dentist experience ever.
Oh, that's a great story, actually. Hold on, we're just gonna do this.
So when I was in undergrad, I was playing baseball and I got 2 teeth knocked out of my skull. So they put them back in.
As you do.
Like you do. Like you
You do.
But the problem is when they put them back in, I had a big gum infection. So it has basically weakened my entire mouth.
Jeez. Dude.
Yeah. Well, part of it was my fault. I was like, I have a little pain in my mouth, but it's fine. It's fine. It was not fine.
Little did
It got to the point where
it was not fine.
where the team physician for the college I was working at was like, you need to go to the dentist. I'm like, why? He's like, because I can see the infection.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I can smell it from here, bro.
Those aren't tonsil stones, buddy.
Oh, God.
I hate
tonsil stones are the worst.
But anyway, that
The
dentist
devil.
was great. Like, he helped it, root canal 2 teeth. It was great. But I had like a really small problem with my front teeth. And when you do your, I don't know if it's like this anymore, but then when you did your exam for dental school, you had to like actually do the procedure on somebody.
Yeah.
And he needed to find somebody to do a front tooth.
Yeah.
So he sent me to Gainesville, which is where the girl was taking the exam.
Yeah.
And they're timed. And like 3/4 of the way through the exam, no more Novocaine. And I was like, she went to finish. Like, she had to do the part where she finished the drilling and physically put the filling in. And she touched me with the drill, and I was like, ow. And she was like, what? And I was like, I can feel all of that. Like, I'm not numb at all anymore. They took like 30 minutes to check my tooth. And she's like, shit. And I was like, why? And she's like, because if I give you Novocaine and I don't wait 10 minutes to start doing the procedure, they're going to dock me points. But I only have 20 minutes to finish. And I was like, how much longer do you have? And she's like, 7 minutes. And I was like, she's like, I'll pay you an extra $500. And I was like, okay. So I just let her drill it into my mouth.
I don't know if I
while
could do
I'm like,
that.
she gave me like a little, like, you know, the like mirror thing that they used to look in your mouth. And by the end of it, it was bent in my hand. And
I know
she's
you
like,
couldn't do this because it was a woman, but like I would have been like, no, you give me your scrotum. And every time I feel pain, I'm squeezing, dude.
Matt
Like,
just wanted to grab some
yeah,
of these
Matt
balls.
just
I just wanted to get in there,
just
get a
wanted a good
handful.
excuse. Yeah.
I'm getting in the cookie jar
Sorry.
if I ever can. I mean,
So afterwards, she felt she passed. So she's a good dentist.
And she died?
dude,
Yeah, I ended up,
terrible.
so I ended up murdering her.
That's
So I ended up
terrible.
murdering her.
oh my
after.
gosh, yeah.
No, but afterwards, she's like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna give you enough Novocaine to like put out a small elephant." Like,
And that's when I
Matt
found
had
him.
to pick me up because I left my car at his apartment complex, and I called him, and he's like, "Dude, where are you?" And I was like, "I'm in the building." He's like,
Oh,
"What?"
Jesus.
I was like, "The one that they did the thing."
Yeah.
And he's like, "But like where on campus? Like what does the street say?" And I'm like,
You left really early in the morning, and then you texted me like around I think 10
Yeah.
or like 11 in the morning, and I drove over because you're like, "Come get me." I'm like, "Okay, sure." I drive around. I'm like, "Okay, I feel like you're on this side of the area, and so you're helping me out." When I pulled up, you were on the corner of the road, and you were looking not at the road, you were looking at the buildings. You were looking at the buildings, and so I was like, "Hey, try." And then you're like, "Hey, all right."
dude, I got to his house and I fell asleep for like 5 hours.
Yeah, you were out, and then you were like, "Oh, I'm driving to hell." I was like, "No, just stay, dude."
Yeah, but I was like, I
couch is
got
fine.
I
And
got
you're like,
class.
yeah, just stay.
I got-
Couch.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
Unbelievable.
Oh, that was a great time. Anyway, so welcome back to Nostalgia Land. As always, if you don't know what we do, we talk about 80s, 90s, and today, Magic 102 points. Not really. 7. Thanks, WNXJ. Okay. So today we are doing, I think it's one of the, like, a pinnacle of 90s movies for me. Little Giants.
Still
Hell
available
yeah.
on Delta flights, by the way. Figured that out this weekend.
Yes.
Watched it again.
My God.
So
So
good.
you had Sleepless in Seattle and Little Giants
Next to me, and then Little Giants on
Delta.
mine. Yeah.
So you could do both. We can do both movies
Yeah, I'll
probably.
just do
right
them now.
Yeah, that's all right. All right. So Tom Hanks is in Seattle and he can't go to sleep. It's terrible. He ends
There's
up
all these
murdering
little
like
kids playing
40
football
people.
in the
Oh, okay.
He ends up becoming an O'Shea.
Opening a Chevy delership.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love how that was this guy's like lifetime. I'm gonna come back to this Nowheresville town in Ohio, in Urbania,
Which doesn't exist.
which doesn't
It's
exist.
a fictional town.
But like you can only imagine with a name like Urbania.
Yeah. I've driven through only southern part of Ohio.
And I won a Heisman Trophy and
Yeah.
played in the NFL, and I'm gonna open a Chevy.
he never
dealership.
he
says-
never made it to the
They
NFL.
never
There's
say.
no way you win a Heisman Trophy and don't play. And the actual actor played in the NFL.
Oh, he
Yeah,
did. Yeah.
Ed
Ed
O'Neill
O'Neill,
did.
man. Yeah. It was for the
Browns,
Steelers?
I think. I think he played for the Browns. I'm gonna look
think
it
the
up.
Browns.
I'm gonna look it up.
I think
Please look
Trey's
it up.
right.
Yeah. Okay. So the movie opens it and it's a great kind of flashback, which is so funny when I look at it now and it's like, oh yeah, it's 63 or something, like 1963, and it's now it takes place in 94, and I was like, that's like if somebody like started a movie today, it'd be 1989, and this is me, this is my life, I'm here now. Damn it. So
son of a bitch.
So it's the O'Shea brothers, and of course, like one of them super like is a big kind of jock. He's popular and stuff, and the other is oh god, I was gonna say his name.
Steelers. You were right.
Steelers. It's Pittsburgh.
Off season and/or practice squad member only. You didn't have to put that in there, Wikipedia, but okay.
I mean, never played.
They want to make sure you know.
Then he left after 1 year, and then we got
Married with
married
children.
with children.
In more ways than one.
Such a strange transition. You went from being a football guy to that. Sorry, I just completely blanked on the nerdy little
Rick Moranis?
Rick Moranis. What is wrong with me, dude? Rick Moranis.
Mr. Zelensky.
Yes, bringing several great '90s films, including Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and then also, I mean, before that, Spaceballs.
He was in Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, yeah, dude. Rick
He's
Moranis
my favorite character in Ghostbusters.
is
He's
a
so
gem.
funny,
He is a gem of a person, dude.
So's the receptionist.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah.
In the relationship with.
Thank you for calling the Ghostbusters. That one.
Yeah.
I thought it just started. She's like, Ghostbusters. What do you want?
Oh yeah, Ghostbusters. What do you want?
Now, is it haunting you, or is it poltergeist, or what is it? No, man. So Rick Moranis and Ed O'Neill, and then a couple of other people, which I did not recognize. But the one guy that I do want to talk about is Todd Bosley.
That's Spike's dad.
No, that is Jake Berman, the Berminator. So the guys at the morgue can identify the bodies. A lot of these people grew up and they don't look like they did when they kids. He's still him.
He looks like that.
Still that kid.
No,
Oh my God, yeah.
The Shermanator.
The shirt.
No, it's Berman.
Oh, it's Berman.
Yeah, Todd Bosley playing Jake Berman. And they put the Berminator
At the end of the movie, he's got Berminator on his.
He's the
Oh, it was the
Berminator.
Shermanator.
Oh yes, he's so good.
Oh,
so
I'm thinking of what's Sherm from? That's from another movie.
You're making that up.
No, I think it's I
think
think it's American Pie.
Sherm.
Sure.
Yeah,
mean
the kid who's not the one who sleeps with Stifler's mom, but it's a different kid.
Oh yeah, not the kid who goes. Oh no, that's freaking Wayne's World. I was going to say Sweden. I was like, no.
But yeah, so it starts off with him being a geeky kid.
Yeah.
And his own brother not being able to play football, which is a dick move.
His brother's a huge dick.
Yeah, dude. He's I forgot how much of an asshole this kid is.
Later on in the movie, he has the conversation with Icebox about how he's a dick and he knows he's a dick. He's like, you and me, we're selfish people.
We're kind of assholes.
And if we don't get our way,
Watch out.
yeah, there's hell to pay.
Yeah.
And he's like, we don't do it on purpose. It's just like, it's our personality. It's very type A, very frustrated, very pissed off.
Or would
I
the
like
youth
my-
say
I like my-
Sigma? No.
Jesus.
I like my controls like I like my personality, type A.
It's wiggity, wiggity, whack.
Oh man. But they're both kids, and you get introduced to all the characters like as their kids, and I never noticed it. I was like, oh, Kevin picks his best friend Butts, who is later his business partner,
His
stuff
lackey.
like that. But his lackey, it's
His first name should have
it's
been
his
Seymour.
guy. Yeah, and I loved it that he was like Butts is first. He's like, yes, it's over, and just moving through, and they go through all of them, and it's like nobody picks Danny. This poor kid, like, just he immediately just goes into lifelong depression of like, I'm on the injury list.
Yeah, he puts
I'm not doing
himself
this
on the
anymore.
injury
Yeah, and he's
list.
like looking for snails or something because he's like walking all weird.
I don't know. And then the hot girl comes over to him and she's
Yeah.
like, hey, Danny.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to play? And he's like, no, I'm injured.
I'm on the
Yeah.
injured list.
She kind of like is wanting to hang out with him and he just wanders off.
Oh, he's sad.
Yeah.
Wonder how many times I've done that in my life.
Just
I
pouting.
have. Yeah. You ever had those moments when you go, shit, she was flirting with me. What is wrong
Oh,
with
dude,
me,
don't even get me started on that.
It's a whole
I
nother
was like,
side
no wonder
quest.
she kept asking me to stop and come with her somewhere, and I was like, "Oh God damn it!"
If
Like,
a girl's hitting on me, she might as well hit me over the head with a frying pan because I don't pick up on signals very
just
well.
be like, "I'm hitting on you."
yeah, exactly.
Is this coming through?
She has to hold up a sign.
No,
Yeah. If only there was a little sign like you could flip it open, flirting. Flip it down, not flirting.
that's
This
what
is
I'd have
Guess
to
Who?
pull out the. I'd have to pull out the giant horn and put it in my ear. I'm flirting with you. I can't hear you.
So Kevin's a dick, and to his brother Danny, it really is like pretty mean. He's like, "You're always going to see it my way, right?"
Yeah.
I'm glad you see it my way.
Yeah.
Just convincing him, like, no, you don't need to play.
He's
He
like,
basically gives
you're
him the-
good and I suck.
Yeah.
That's it. And he's like, no, that's not it. I'm just so good. look
It
really
makes
bad.
you look bad. That's yeah. Some of the lines are great.
And he's like smacking on gum like
The whole time.
The Cinema Sins channel on YouTube. Shout out to those guys. They have a thing whenever somebody eats an apple in a movie, they're like, let's have him eat an apple so we know he's an asshole.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what smacking gum is.
Oh god, it's never normal either. It's never like just quietly chewing. It's always
Yeah, it's like way too
Oh my
exaggerated.
gosh.
And like they try to talk and it's like in the way
yeah.
of the teeth.
I don't know. If you ever
Starts falling out of their mouth. And
if you
they're
ever
like,
want to play football, you just kind of suck a little bit. You just stop it. Just stop it, dude.
it's the worst part of this movie. It's really the only bad part of this movie,
With the
and
little kids?
it's supposed to be. Like,
It's him moose jawing
oh
gum
my
the whole
God.
time. Just-
and it's all like
Hey Danny, the ball.
so fast,
Gimme.
so fast.
That's good. That's really good. Hey, Danny, the ball. Gimme. Did that perfectly.
I wonder how many times during the filming the gum fell out of his mouth, and he had to like, oh crap, I need more gum.
Just a little.
This wasn't in the gum budget, all right? We didn't
Son of a-
Apparently, that's a Brad Pitt thing in his movies. He likes to
Eat apples? So
no,
he knows
he
he's an
just likes
asshole?
to he likes to eat.
Oh yeah.
A lot of his scenes are him eating.
I saw that in someone talked about that in Ocean's 11, where he's like every single scene he's in, he's just sitting there chomping on fries or like eating something out of a bowl, and you're just like, "What are you, Brad? Are you here to work? Like you just like everyone else is doing."
You know, we have craft
like,
services. Like you
but
can eat between scenes.
There's breaks. We
Nope.
have breaks. It's called lunch. Like it's union ruled. You
It's
have
like-
to
You have
take
to.
it.
It's like
You
pooping
have
on
to.
it's like pooping on company time, man.
no,
Yeah,
you
work
don't-
it in where you can.
You gotta do that when you're doing it by the hour, right? I totally agree with you. It's their fault for making me come to the office.
If I was doing this from home, I
yeah.
could bring my laptop in there with
Yeah,
me.
bro. This doesn't have to stop, but now I'm here. All right, just start pounding on the
30
wall.
minutes.
You happy?
So
Anywho,
he
yeah.
punts off, and then you get the transition to where it's like how
Well, he
great-
tells him the whole thing about how one day this town's going to be ours because
Yeah.
he's trying to make him feel better about sucking at football and
it's
being
going to be
like,
up there in big bold letters.
Yeah.
The O'Shea brothers.
he's gonna one day we're gonna own this town. On the water tower, it's gonna say the O'Shea brothers.
Yeah.
And then he kicks it, and it just says "Home of the Great Kevin O'Shea."
I mean, what a great transition, though, man. Like, I mean, that's iconic as shit, as all get out. Like, just the fact that it transitions and it has his name, and it's that great soundtrack that they came up with for that. It was brilliant.
You know what
then-
I'm glad in this? Like I noticed a lot in this movie was, I'm glad they've gone away from the opening credits in a lot of movies these days. We have to sit through just names.
Oh,
People-
yeah.
and it's
like
like
every Bond film ever.
oh my goodness. Now this one's kind of cool because it's the X's and the O's and like they're moving around like they're playing football and
Yeah,
stuff.
but you got to get all those names out there.
One,
Yeah.
But a
not
lot of
two.
the movies that we've covered, it's just been like flying through the air, and there's just directed by,
Yeah.
produced by. And I'm like, I don't care.
Deadpool always does a great job with it because it's always like in the middle of a fight scene. So like,
Right,
it's
so you're
written-
not paying attention to any of the
Yeah,
names.
you can just legally say it's up there. We all saw it because
Yeah.
there's our writers. Like when they make movies, where it's like my name, like if I worked on this, has to appear this many times or something. And
That's so
there's
ridiculous.
there's ridiculous
Fine, we'll
rules.
just list it that many times in the credits. You get your name.
You go boom,
Writer,
yeah.
boom, writer, boom, writer, boom. There.
Ryan Reynolds. I love.
Easy for you to say.
By the way, whoever
For
hasn't
real.
seen Deadpool and Wolverine, please go see it. But
Hell
one of my
yeah.
favorite things is when the twin, the one who can't, the Deadpool who can't regenerate, who owns the dog, he
Oh,
goes,
yeah.
"Oh, I can lightly break the fourth wall too." And he turns to the camera and goes, "The proposal."
God, movie's so good.
one of my
man.
favorites.
So good.
Oh, so yeah, so then it cuts to the future,
And,
and
and
it's
he's
Kevin O'Shea.
coaching football trials for Pee Wee football.
Dude, I had the hardest time watching this.
With
Just
like the aviators and
Yeah,
he's
and
got
the
the
gum.
but he has the Coach Riley going.
Yeah.
Or he has his collar flipped up like
Ever since I can remember, I've been popping my collar.
I feel like we should have one where it's like, up, let's have him pop his collar so we know he's an
Oh
asshole.
yeah. Oh no! In the movie we're reviewing next week, I think every time they say Jimmy, we should drink. And then
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, we'll be dead by the first 30 minutes of that film. Anyways, stay tuned.
No one will ever touch Coach Riley, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when he popped his lapel, he could fly away with how big that lapel. It was like, oh my gosh, where's his head?
He turned into Dracula.
He did. He really did.
Then he fades into the darkness.
When he put his lapel down, he had a cape.
Dracula played for Coach Riley. It was like, I'm going to borrow his style for this.
I'm digging this lapel thing.
So Kevin O'Shea, he's hosting. It's tryouts, and it's like it's not a league. It's like to build. It's Pee Wee to build a team to go to a Pee Wee league that plays against other towns.
Yeah, well, in Miami, we have so many people that you can do it by like section of Miami. So you can have one in like Kendall and Sunny.
Right.
In small towns like that, it's like we got to go play the other small town.
But even still, I was counting all the kids. I was like,
not enough for a football team.
There's not enough. No. Even the ones he picks, the ones he leaves out, I was like, dude, just you need
bench players.
Like, you need
what if somebody gets hurt?
If you go back and you count the number of kids on that team, they don't have 11 to fill the 11 positions on the football field.
So
even with Spike.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm just being facetious.
Maybe
they may be able to fill 11, but it's like, dude, someone's gonna need like a breather.
Yeah, you're playing Iron Man football because you're both playing both sides.
You're playing both offense and defense.
A lot of that when I worked in West Virginia when I covered high school, they had a lot of kids that played both sides of the ball,
and they were all related.
That's my cousin.
It wasn't a family tree.
Oh, that was a subtle West Virginia joke.
It was a family line.
That was good. This family tree looks like it's a circle.
It's a stump.
Just more roots.
Yeah. You guys just keep going deeper, boy.
Yeah, why is your family tree in reverse? What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
Why does it come together?
There's a movie with oh God, I forget his name. He was married to Roseanne.
Tom Arnold.
Thank you. Tom Arnold, called The Stupids.
Uh-huh.
And one day I will make you watch it. But
because it's stupid.
I mean, it's beyond bad, but it's also like one of those movies where it's like once it's on, it's like a train wreck. You can't stop watching, and you kind of want to see what emerges from the fire. But he in the movie he goes, well, my daddy married my mother's sister, and then my sister got divorced and married. And he goes, so essentially, I'm my own grandpa, and then he goes into full on like Broadway, I'm my own grandpa, and sings a 3-minute song that you just want to tear your ears off. So back to Little Joe.
Well, so they're doing like what looks like conditioning, and then all of a sudden Becky just pops this kid out of nowhere.
Takes him down.
And I had written in my notes, full contact tryouts,
no pads,
only helmets.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Only like, hey dude, you might not want to do that. Like
She
you just broke that kid's ribs.
She just
doesn't have a collarbone anymore.
absolutely hit sticks this kid.
Yeah, she drills him.
And all you hear is him go, "Oh, baby, now we're talking."
Yeah,
Like,
Kevin's all about it.
Were you just running them as close to each other as you could until somebody got popped?
This is like he would have been a great Camp U counselor. Let's just face it. He would have been
Dizzy Bat
amazing.
Trash Can.
Yes, he could have figured out Dizzy Bat Trash Can, which I don't want to elaborate now. I want to save that one. That's such a good one on that. But anyways, so you find out that one of the kids, Becky, who slammed Zoltar, that kid, Zoltek, sorry. Zoltan, yeah.
Which one is it?
It's Zoltek.
It's Zoltek.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
All right.
Because they call him a bunch of different stuff through the whole movie.
They say fat lineman.
But I guess Coach Danny O'Shea does say, "Hey Zoltek,"
Hey Zoltek,
and that's when you get like the famous, "Hey Zoltek, come here." And he's like, "You rang." That kid is hilarious, man.
That kid's
he
brilliant.
is so funny.
Yeah, but they put the camera on him, and it looks like there's blood, and like even my wife was like, "Dude, what is this movie?"
And
Our
it's
kids do,
not.
like, full concussions. No, I was like, just wait, pull it off. There's a sandwich inside. He's like peanut butter jelly, and this is what Butts goes. It's peanut butter jelly and Cheetos. And Kevin O'Shea is like,
Crunchy or puffed?
Crunchy or puffed? Yes,
puffed.
It's puffed, and he goes wuss.
No, wimp. Calls him a wimp.
Someone calls it a whip because they're not
Because they're not crunchy
If you're gonna
Cheetos.
put them in your helmet, they got to be crunchy because that's the measure of a man. You got puffed.
Well, and then
Cheetos
the
in your
best is the
helmet,
kid
don't you?
sits up and he's like, peanut butter jelly sandwich?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Sorry.
Uh-oh. Little peanut butter jelly sandwich, and he's like,
peanut butter jelly sandwich? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And the kid grabs it and goes,
takes a huge.
still good.
Yeah. and he's there munching.
Yeah.
He eats like most of that sandwich, and then Butts takes it away from him and throws it back in the helmet. And he's like, "Hey, my mom made that for me.
My mom made that."
Yeah.
You're never gonna get anywhere treating your helmet like a lunchbox set.
Dude, I felt so bad. So they go through this whole tryouts, and a couple of these kids are really like they look pretty athletic. I was like, oh man, like even the girl who played Becky, I was like, dude, she definitely.
Oh, she's a baller.
She
could have
could have
made the
killed
team.
me. She definitely could have killed me as a kid, and she definitely would have made this team.
Yeah.
But
I
dude,
told you before we started that I watched an interview with her and Spike.
Yeah.
At a much more recent time where they're adults, and Becky was talking about how she used to be a figure skater.
oh dang, okay.
Yeah, and
Like Tanya Harding.
and they had
Harding.
like a friendly rivalry with the Mighty Ducks kids, like because these movies were going out at the same time.
Okay.
And they were friends. They were friendly. It was
Yeah.
fun, but like
Yeah.
they were they kind of mess with each
Oh,
other.
she
That's cool.
she should have been in the Mighty Ducks.
She would have been amazing.
She would've been
in
great.
the Mighty
You could have made her
Ducks,
like the
dude.
Bash sister.
Yeah, both of those movies are like fantastic.
Yes.
If you have
Oh,
kids
man.
now, you should definitely show your kids both Mighty Ducks and Little Giants
And
because
Little Giants,
Little
yeah.
Giants is still fun to watch.
But you do get Coach Riley's sweet jacket.
yeah, and then Kevin O'Shea.
Sweet jacket.
You got that sweet
jacket.
jacket.
Sweet jacket.
Got the birds
You
on
get
the,
the bird on
back.
the back.
Hey, it's not worth winning.
So
If you can't win, bang.
There you go.
That's not Shauna Walden though, right? That's not. No, it is. It is her. It is Shauna Walden.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she would have been amazing as a duck, and that would have been a great to have like a Bash sister or something. That would it would have worked.
Oh yeah,
It
she was
would've worked.
awesome.
But like this scene, dude, when they all line up
And they're just
Kevin's
it's
giving this
brutal, man.
bullshit about like you can't. Oh yeah, like some of us are winners, some of us are losers. He's like trying to give them some. It's just important you came out and you tried out, and he starts cutting kids from them, and like it gets to the end, and you see Tad's face, the little boy,
Oh my
little
God,
blonde
dude.
boy. I was tearing up for him. I was
Yeah.
like, good Lord. Like, I'm not about like, okay, everyone who participates like should win a little something or get to be like, I appreciate people coming out, but like even this, I was like, maybe you should just give him a helmet. Just let him wear it at home.
Yeah,
Or just give it to his house.
let him sit on the bench,
Yeah,
man.
dude. Like,
Well, in the middle of practice, Danny O'Shea shows up.
Becky's
Kevin's
dad.
brother, Becky's
Yeah.
Icebox's dad. Becky is Icebox, just
who
so you
now
know.
drives the tow truck.
Yeah, 'cause
Kevin sells the cars
and
Danny-
fuels him up.
and
Yeah, he
And
owns a
tows
gas
him.
station
or,
slash.
or tows him.
Or
I was
tows
like,
him.
I was like, man,
He's a repo man.
is Kevin?
It's the most
thought-
non-threatening repo man.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, I got to take it. That's what I got to do. Sorry, just I need to leave. But I thought I was like, man, is Kevin?
wasn't a bad,
is he?
Rick Moranis.
Thank you. Is he selling lemons? Like Kevin selling lemons, and Danny's just going and towing around town, dude.
No, they don't like each other enough. To
Yeah,
have
that's
that
right.
kind of
To have that idea.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that would have been a great scheme. Like, who's going to argue with that?
Well, the best part is he's doing this speech and Becky's mouthing the words.
Well, but what I was saying, so
Oh, sorry,
Danny,
yes,
Danny
yeah.
walks up and goes over to Kevin's wife,
Oh, yeah.
his sister-in-law,
Yeah.
and she's there with her daughters. And
She had put a kid in a headlock.
right as he walks up, one of the most iconic lines that has stuck with me all these years.
I thought you were going to say this. Yeah.
The Kevin O'Shea of this
Sean
team,
Murphy.
Yes.
Sean Murphy, says, "Hey, Icebox, I know you're all big and bad,
You look like a boy.
Boy.
Yeah,
You play like a boy.
but can you pee standing up?" And then the other guy,
Who's like this big.
"Oh
Yeah.
my god, yeah."
Picking the wrong fights, dude. I was like, you
Says-
shut up.
No, when she's hot to trot, she's still got a squat. And Becky basically rips his head off.
Yeah.
She turns him around and doubles up her arms in a choke on this kid. And he's like, "I can't breathe." And I'm like, "I believe it. I believe it."
I know this is a made up movie, but that
Yeah.
kid deserved it.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, the best is like Sean goes to break her off, and one of the other kids is like, "Nah,
Yes.
you get the heck out of here.
Well,
he
then,
deserves it."
That's when Danny shows up and says, he's like, "Becky."
Yeah.
And she throws him on, like body slams this dude to the ground. And then he goes over and asks his sister-in-law,
What happened?
"How's it going?" And
Yeah.
she says, or "How's Becky doing?" And she says, "She's the best one out there."
Yeah.
And her little daughter,
There's
it's
niece,
like her,
yeah.
it's like one of her only lines in the whole movie, but it's so funny. And she says, "I got the whole headlock on tape. You want to see?" Yeah. And he's like, "No, I'm okay." She's like,
Yeah,
"Okay."
Uncle Dan,
fine.
I just
All right,
got
yeah.
a
Right.
headlock scene on tape. You want to see?
You want
Yeah.
to see it?
Oh gosh. So they don't pick Zoltar, Tad,
Zoltek.
Zoltek, Tad, Becky
Hot Hands.
Heyman,
Hot Hands.
who is hilarious. But this poor child, he's just angry the entire movie.
1,000%.
A single line hardly comes out of him
During
without
the
him
tryouts,
yelling at people.
he drops the ball and he's talking to his
Yeah.
hands and he's like, "Come on, fellas, don't let me down.
Yeah.
I wash you, take care of you, put gloves on you when you're cold."
And that's right when Sean Murphy makes fun of him.
He's like, "You ever catch anything?
Yeah,
Ever?"
that's right. And then it
he's
comes
like,
out.
"Caught a cold yesterday, Murph. Here, have some." It's
Yeah.
not
And
right.
like so angrily says it.
Yes, he's like, I got a cold yesterday, Mark.
Like, I'm gonna
Like
kill you.
You can feel the rage bubbling.
Dude, I can't. This kid, like every single line of him.
And Zoltek running like the sprints, and Kevin's timing him. Dude, that noise they gave him is so bad. But
Sounds like the worst asthmatic you've ever heard trying to run a 50-yard
It's so
dash.
awful, but so real at the same time.
so he runs it, and Kevin stops the stopwatch and
he's-
doesn't tell him his time.
What is this, a telethon?
Next
Then
kid runs.
Hot Hands runs.
No, it's Briggs, the
Is it Briggs?
the quarterback for
Yes,
the other
There's
team.
only 2 black kids in this town. Let's keep.
It is Briggs. But I thought for some reason I thought it was Hot Hands that ran it.
Yeah, no,
second.
it's Haynes and Briggs. So yeah,
Heyman.
Haynen and Briggs. Yeah.
But he's like 8.2, nice job, Briggs.
Yeah.
And then Zoltek pats him on the back and he's like, "What was my time, coach?" And he's like, "I don't know, son. I don't have a sundial."
Dude, the kid's like 10.
Just stomping on these kids' self-esteem.
Dude, yes,
This
guy-
your life's gonna suck.
Yeah.
All right, just know this.
No, Kevin O'Shea definitely would have been the baseball coach who does that video where he's like, "Hey, buddy, how big was the school bus that picked you up? Was it a normal size or was it real
Was it
short?"
short?
He's talking to like a 10-year-old
Does your dad hate
pitcher.
you? Your dad's a real loser.
Oh, speaking of that, there's a guy that's like an announcer for Little League games.
Yeah.
And one day it was like April Fool's and he was just letting these kids have it. And this kid goes up, he's like, "He's the leadoff hitter because his dad's the coach."
It's brutal.
That hurts.
It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know what's lower, his GPA or his batting average.
Let's go. That's amazing. Dude. Oh God, it's so hard to get through this.
Oh my
and
God,
it's
I
gonna be
forgot
like
that this happens.
it's
in
at
this
least
game.
2 hours in this. Oh my Lord, what is happening? I'm so glad. I'm so glad we got the camera working so other people could see what we're talking about.
Trade.
So yeah, quick timeout. We have a
So-
fourth camera for our YouTube listeners,
Yeah.
our viewers, and we have it on some classic wrestling from N64.
A little
Yeah.
no mercy.
A little No Mercy, and this was back when the Godfather used to be in WWF,
He was a pimp.
and he was a pimp, and he had his
She's
hose,
about to
and
slap
one of
Brock
the
out.
hose just ran down to the ring, and I totally
It
forgot.
says her name.
Yeah,
It's
top
just
left corner.
Ho.
Heck yeah, dude.
It's Ho versus Henry, The Rock, and Taka, and that's it. Oh, there's a rope break now apparently. So-
Okay.
Oh, geez.
Anyway,
Okay.
sorry.
The Little Giants. So, anyways, kids get pissed. They
They're all
downright
sad.
should be. They're very sad. They come up with the best idea.
Zoltek drops his Reese's Pieces.
Well,
Oh.
when he's doing the who gets picked, and he starts it off
Hey,
with a
man,
speech
my
like you
man.
said, and he says, you know, it was my goal to, you know, I went and I brought 3 high school championships, but Becky's like 3 high school championships,
Yeah.
A national
And then he says
collegiate championship.
A
a national collegiate title,
An
and then
All-American title.
and an All American title, and not to mention a
Heisman.
Heisman Trophy.
A Heisman Trophy.
And a Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God. So how many times has she been cut? Wait, where did she hear
good
this
point,
speech before? Because they just decided to put this team together. Like, where is she
I only
getting
got 2
this
weeks to put this thing
information?
together.
Yeah. He's got no time. But yeah, you're right, man. She has heard the disappointment
Yeah.
speech.
I want to bring
a
something back
lot,
here.
dude.
And then-
Turbania,
Yeah.
my town.
Yeah, my town. And it does this whole dickhead thing where he waits till the very end to pick, and there's the Sean Murphy kid is standing
Yeah.
in
The
the background.
backbone of this
Oh.
team.
And he obviously looks terrified that he's not going to make this team.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he says, and the backbone of this team, Sean Murphy, he's like, I knew it. Yeah. Like, get out of here,
I
punk.
knew
No, you definitely thought he was going to pick
Icebox.
the Hulk.
Yeah.
That's who he was going to pick.
exactly.
Dude, you need a solid center line. Like, I mean, how is Zoltek not like just stand there, buddy? Like, you don't just be
He's
weight.
a center.
You're
All you
pla-
do is snap.
You're 60 pounds heavier than most children in this entire town. What all he has to do is just stand there, just learn how to hold his ground. That's it. That's a great line. Anyways, I'm gonna get off. I just was so pissed. I was so pissed at the beginning of this movie. I was like, I didn't remember that it was because he just didn't think they were good enough.
Right.
I thought it was something else. Like, I
'cause
guess
they're,
I didn't
like,
understand
dorky.
it. Yeah, I thought it
When
was
you're-
like, oh, they like comic
When you're a
books or
kid, you
something.
definitely don't notice that they don't have enough players to play football.
Yeah.
And they're cutting kids from the team. So it doesn't bother you as much. But as an adult, it's like, this makes no sense.
It's twice as insulting.
Look,
By the way.
look, the ones who got cut can play one side of the ball. They
Yeah.
play, and you still don't have enough people.
Exactly.
Oh man, so they go into town. They do a great way of setting up that like Kevin really is like a big shot, like big man on campus in this
yeah.
town.
Like,
Because
he
he's got
owns
his
the
Chevrolet
Chevy-
dealership. Like,
He owns the diner.
yeah, people know
Does
him.
he own the
He's got-
diner?
Yeah.
Well, he's got his booth.
Says-
He's got his own booth. and stuff.
Well, yeah, it's either his booth or whatever because it says O'Shea's above the where you see like the guy kicking the field goal.
Oh, yeah.
Was he a kicker? Because if he was,
I really hope
that's-
not.
That's hard to get a Heisman
No,
as a
it couldn't
kicker,
be.
isn't it?
I hope
No,
not.
it couldn't be because at the end, she says, remember how Kevin won the game? And
Oh yeah. He was a running back.
He's
Yeah,
a running
yeah,
back.
you're
Yeah, I guess so. No, so they do a great way of setting up. And it's Butts. Butts is his number 2 guy. He was there at the tryouts. He
funny
works
that
at
Butts
Chevrolet.
number 2.
Yeah, and
Butts
he's like,
is number
and Danny
2.
walks up and he's like, "All these kids have a chance to play," and Bud's like, "Not on this team."
Yeah, he did something. He said something horrible. He's like, if those kids were, if this was my, like later on, he says,
Yeah.
if those were my, and I was a mother hen, and those are my chicks. I'd take them all down in the river and drown them or
Yeah,
something. And
let
it's
'em
like,
drown.
Bro, like, Butts, like, take it easy, dude.
Yeah, you're gonna be in a cell.
Yeah. We do remember this is just like Pee Wee
Football, right? Yeah, and we're not in
Like,
Texas, so
Yeah.
I don't know why you're.
This
so
is
excited.
Ohio, dude. By the way, this little Ohio town looks an awful lot like Southern California, and I think there's some palm trees in the back if you look real close. And then especially when at the very end they're at the big game, the whole background is like that's not Ohio. That's really not
in the fall.
Yeah, it's not Ohio.
That's funny.
But anyway,
Oh,
so
man.
Becky basically like tells everybody they're starting their own team and like springs it on her dad at
Yeah,
the last second.
tells everybody except him.
and
Yes.
then
Yeah, because she does the whole badass thing with the coolest go-kart in the world.
Yeah.
No, but that's after. Yeah, because that's when the kids go to make fun of him for starting their own team, right? Oh no! You're right.
That's where she
The
tells
bullies drive over to the gas station to be like, "Oh, we're just how sorry we are that you didn't make the team."
Didn't make the team.
And then they give the nerdy kid a wedgie.
And
Yeah.
Zoltek farts really loud. That's what gets him
Yeah.
in the room. That's really what he's like. I worked on this for you, and he lets one rip, and it's like classic '90s
the
fart.
whole movie.
But
Yeah.
then
The
we
kids
got to
fart
get
up a
back to
storm.
problems with Becky because she turns into Troy from the Goonies here for a
Oh
second.
yeah, she starts taking kids out with 20 horsepower on a little like iron, like metal frame go kart.
Oh, dude, that thing is like 75
They're all
cc's.
afraid of her.
Thing's
Yeah.
hauling ass.
They hear her and they're like, the ice box.
Dude, I would be too.
There's only 12 kids in this town, and that one she can
She's
beat them all
super
up.
creative though. She
Yeah.
gets one with like the Davy Crockett hat,
the flag.
You're
on
like
the
a
back.
raccoon tail on her antenna.
and then the last one she basically just like vaults him into the pond.
Yeah.
Sean Murphy, he deserves it.
Well, it's him, and then like I love there's just one background extra who's just he's like fishing, and like I guess she does this often because he's just totally used to it. He doesn't
Yeah,
hurt around.
whatever.
No scene of like what's going on. Okay, nope.
He's
Just
like,
keeps
oh,
on fishing.
that
You're-
O'Shea girl
Yeah.
threw another one in the river.
That go-kart.
Drown another one.
Max.
That's the
That's the
ice
icebox.
That's the icebox.
He's coming to kill
And then he's
that
like,
boy.
Yeah.
I wish I could get you back on the field. And she's like, we're starting our own team.
Yeah.
And she's like, who's your coach? My dad. And he
My
starts-
dad.
He starts like, your dad?
Yeah.
And she peels out and sprays him.
Dude, like the biggest freaking cow patty of mud right in that dude's face.
Which
It's
you know
awesome.
was like a second hand, like just off camera with a
Yeah.
big. I'm gonna slug this kid. This is
yes.
Right in his ear hole.
yes, this is why I came to Hollywood. This is why.
Some like producer's assistant is like, hell yeah.
Now's my time to
I
shine.
heard this kid say you didn't like craft services yesterday. Sean Murphy's gonna get it. tell you what cheese sticks to my son of a bitch.
I like cheesy poofs.
So-
cheese and poofs.
Becky tells him, and Kevin's trying to do the whole like, here, look at it my way, and he's like, no, you know what?
She called in.
Yeah, she's like, no, you know what?
She tells everybody. She goes to the mayor.
Yeah.
She calls
Yeah.
Pee Wee football, I guess.
Yeah, it
because
sets something up.
Kevin
dude.
is there with the two old guys.
Yeah.
Who are
Hilarious.
like,
How about it, Wilbur?
they're like talking smack about it and everything. And then the mayor walks in and pulls Kevin aside to say, hey, I had to put my neck out to get you this team.
Great Kevin
Like,
O'Shea. was gonna be
Pee-wee.
what are we talking about
coaching our
here?
boys.
Yeah, and then I had to tell him that the great Kevin O'Shea will be coaching to get, and then now I hear that we have 2 teams. He says, "What are you talking about? 2 teams?
Yeah.
Who's coaching?" And then Danny walks in like right then.
Hi, Louise.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey," and then Kevin goes over to give him a bunch of crap, and Becky's like, "Hey, Dad, me and my friends, we're gonna start our own football team. Okay, great, thanks." And like runs outside, and he's like, "Okay." And then Kevin comes over and starts bitching at him about having his own team. You can't coach football. Those kids are worthless. Whatever. And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And then he kind of dawns on him. He looks outside, and she's like,
All
"Please."
four
And
of
like,
these
yeah, but then like
things.
all of her friends show up, like Tad and Heyman and
Yeah.
Zoltek.
And it took him
I
that long to
guess.
get there from her riding the go-kart away.
No, he had a bike. He had a bike.
He had a bike. He had a bike.
Still, that's how it sounded if you rode
probably
that.
No,
did.
bike.
it would be eeky.
Barely. That bike just barely holding it together.
Like
under
just
the weight.
screaming, help. No. But anyway, he's like, I need to see it my way. And he's like, no, I hate your way.
Yeah.
I've never seen it your way.
hate your way. It's a great line. And he's like, yeah, so we're starting. We'll meet you at half court.
It's a 50-yard line, Dad.
It's just a great little touch in there of writing to be like, oh, yeah, he really doesn't know a whole
And
lot
then you
about
get
football.
and then you get that they're going to have a playoff.
Yeah.
Like one town, one team.
Yeah.
And then they go on the great recruiting mission.
Dude, the most
The
ridiculous,
montage of them
funny,
walking down a train track and kids slowly get added to the group.
to them running down, to them walking. But the funniest moment in that whole thing is when the kid is on the
Tommy.
Yes,
Tommy is
Yeah.
on
The little rocking horse.
the riding horse outside of like a grocery store back in the day, where you put like a quarter in it and it just like vibrated the horse up and down. And he's there. He's got like a little cowboy hat on and everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hi,
Yeah.
what's your name?" He's like, "Tommy." He's like, Do you like football? No.
No.
Do you want to play football?
No.
No. Great. You can be on our team.
And he just walks into frame.
Yeah, right onto the train tracks with them.
Do, 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 do. Yeah.
Well, then they get Johnny, whose dad
dude.
just constantly leaves.
There wasn't
Yeah.
enough Johnny, in my opinion, in this movie. Because
I don't
Johnny
know.
is freaking hilarious.
Johnny's got
dude.
2 good moments during the game that we'll get
He's
to.
got some great
Yes,
moments.
he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
And got a couple.
Still, like, kind of brought a tear to your eye at times, where it's like, "Oh, dude, this kid
Sucks.
I feel bad.
I feel
this
for his
kid.
dad though. His dad's
His dad's
grinding.
out there trying to make it. You know, he's trying to make money, support his family. I get it, but he could like talk to his son about it a little more.
like
But we
a little
don't know
more.
the background.
Yeah.
We don't know the
We
background.
don't know the situation.
He could work
Never
for the
see Johnny's
CIA.
mom.
He could work for the CIA.
True, never see Johnny's mom.
You don't know. He could tell you.
Where
It could
is
be one of
Johnny's
those.
mom?
We're all the Sour Patch parents.
I thought it was interesting in this movie too, because it's just Danny and Becky,
Yeah.
and they didn't make it like
She's.
my mom died.
Yeah, it's not that.
No, it's mom's a piece of shit
found
who
a
bailed.
She found a better team.
I liked that
Yeah.
actually, because it's like that happens to kids,
Yeah.
and like it's good for kids to see. Like, yeah, it happens to people in movies too.
Not always Airbud.
Sometimes it doesn't work
Yeah,
out.
it's you're not always
Airbud.
getting a dog because your dad's dead. Even though your mom knows you're happy from this dog and wants to take it away from you.
Not always Airbud.
Dad's dead.
But then
Guess what?
the last 2 recruits are my favorite because he gets what is his name? It's the nerdy kid.
Berman?
Is
No.
it,
Jake Berman? No, because his mom brings
It's the
him
one
in.
who's the assistant coach.
like new.
Oh.
The annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yes, the annexation. I'll look him up. Yeah, annexation of Puerto Rico. You're right.
Yeah.
But him and the Chinese kid crack me up so much. Dude.
Oh, dude. when
That-
they go
He's just
behind
kicking
this warehouse
kickballs.
and he's got like
kickballs
the
on paint cans.
biggest kickballs you've ever seen. Might as well be beach ball size
Yes.
kickballs. And they're on the cans, like coffee cans. And he's just booting them like over the roof.
No, he's kicking them off the wall.
Yeah. And then he's like, "Oh, you like to kick?" And then he kicks one and smashes the window. And he's like, "Nothing but glass." Like what?
Nothing but glass.
Nothing but
the
glass.
way they show just a split second of him like foot making contact with the ball, but
there's no way that ball did anything.
There's no way that ball went anywhere near the.
It just rolled on the ground.
Oh man, I'm trying to find the name of the nerdy kid, but I can't. I'm not sure who he is. Because I don't think he's done a whole lot since then because. His IMDb is definitely not.
I think most of these kids, other than Devin Sawa, who comes later, they didn't really do a lot of act. No, that's Junior.
Well, I was about to talk about Junior.
Right, but
yeah.
I don't think most of the kids did a lot of acting after this.
Yeah, so the little Chinese boy's name is Marcus Toji, and he actually plays Marcus in the movie. So they just kind of like, oh yeah, just come on.
Well, probably is much easier to give them their actual names.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
so
just
that like it's easier for them to act.
Oh, and Marcus is also.
Oh, but he
like
does a lot of voice work apparently.
Name. Okay.
He's done a ton of voice work. He's been in a lot of stuff.
It's also hard to tell if like a child actor continues to
change.
Yeah, you change so much as you age.
I definitely want to see something with Todd Bosley, just like as the main guy, because he was in Scrubs, which I remember him in Scrubs. He was, he did a couple episodes like Seinfeld, but
Todd is Tad.
Yeah, sorry,
The
Todd
Berminator.
Bosley is the Berminator.
Oh, right,
it's
right,
Jake
right, right.
Berman. Yeah,
Yeah.
So the guys at the mall can identify the bodies.
Well, that's so
Go ahead, Trey.
the two best recruits are Junior. Because they're in the grocery store, like just eating stuff.
Well, it's her.
yes.
No, and Hanan and
They're eating too?
Yeah,
I didn't catch that.
Zoltek
Yeah.
is.
Well, Zoltek's
Hanan's
always
not.
eating.
Yeah.
But Junior has a shopping cart lined up on one end of an aisle, and he's throwing toilet paper rolls, which he had to have opened the.
Oh no, you can buy
Yes.
individual.
Oh, you can.
Yeah. You
Okay.
get the 50-cent rolls.
Yeah.
So he's-
and you don't want to wipe your ass.
Single
with those.
ply,
Don't
dude.
want
It's like
those.
wiping your ass with sandpaper.
I was at a friend's house not long ago, and we're like brothers. We're so close. We've been friends for so long. And I said to him, dude, you guys use like one ply? And he's like, yeah, our septic like has issues, whatever. So, we got to use, and I'm like, dude, you guys could literally buy like Charmin Ultra Strong and just use less toilet paper. And I'm sure it would be fine because you got to use like half the roll to make sure you don't get dirty yourself trying to clean
or
yourself.
you just get a bidet.
Yeah, we also talked about that. That's really funny that you brought that up because we actually went into that. It was like, you should because then you could use even less toilet paper. You could still stay with the one ply, but you could buy them like that. And like when you come to Golden Rule, like that's how they deliver it in like a big box and they're individually wrapped.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, like
So-
you'd see at school or something.
exactly. So he's just launching
just
those
chucking
things.
these
Which
things.
I was like, there's no parents in this town because I don't know what
Or
grocery store you
grocery
can go
store
to.
workers.
Yeah, no, it's like nobody cares. It's
Well,
just small enough.
I
That's
think
fine.
I think the grocery store workers were like, dude, the kid hasn't missed.
This
Yeah.
is Small Town USA
He's just shopping.
in the
You're right.
90s.
He's
You're
just
right.
shopping.
You're right. Who
Yeah.
cares? They wouldn't.
Basically, if you weren't in school, like you'd just be like let loose into the world, and it's like, hey, don't bother anybody. I'll see you at 5 o'clock.
care. Yeah.
I'll see you when the
If
lights.
the street lights come on,
Get your ass home.
Get your ass
You better
home.
be home. At
Right.
least checking in.
Because that's when the
Or
fruit.
Yeah.
when
that's
we would
when
go
you-
to the mountains
Oh yeah.
in the summer,
Can you see?
like literally, we'd be playing all up and down the mountain,
Yeah.
and you would just hear like dinner, and you'd be like, okay, and like everybody come back to the house.
Yeah. My rule was the street lights. I at least had to come back to the house, make eye contact with somebody, and be like, I'm just outside. I'm fine.
I'm
And
not
then
dead.
I can go back out into the street.
Well, the good thing about you is you had that school right there.
yeah. I had a closed, more like a closed
Yeah.
street, and I could. Yeah.
Well, they had like a softball field, and then they had like a basketball court.
I love that house.
The amount of times
Yeah.
we jumped the fence to play there.
You guys should have just got like wire cutters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you're gonna put a stupid lock on this, but just the fence is 6 feet tall. Like,
God would have been upset.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was
You're
a
allowed
Christian
to.
school.
You're allowed
that's
to
right.
use it. Just don't deface my property.
You guys could have just left the lock off this gate.
Well, I think we also figured out that like if you the chain was really long, so if you just pushed the gates like because the chain wasn't holding anything. I don't know what they were expecting. Oh, we just don't want tanks and cars to drive through this. But like if you just pulled the
Don't be
gates
parking
apart,
on
I
my
could go
good
right through it.
grass.
An adult couldn't play.
Yeah, an adult couldn't play.
No, a skinny
He said
one.
adult could play.
Really
Right.
skinny.
That's why I pointed at myself.
For someone who takes care of themselves, they could still play.
Zoltek.
But not us. No.
Zoltek would have had an issue. But anyway, him and
Yeah.
Hanan,
Dang.
well, he throws one and he's like, heads up. And Hanan turns around and catches it. And Zoltek's like,
Yeah,
What?
because the whole movie, it's a running joke that Hot Hands Hanan can't catch anything.
Moranis. Sorry. This
Nothing
movie
later.
has so many lines.
It's a good
in it
one. Like,
Yeah.
that I was like, oh my God, that's what that's
it's
from.
one of those
That's why
movies that I
say
still quote
Yeah.
all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, hot. Yeah. And you got to
But
get to it.
so
But-
they're talking to him, and this is when Icebox hits puberty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right
she's-
before our eyes.
She's
She
like,
realizes-
"Oh, hot."
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, I'm a girl.
I got my hair cut.
Oh my God. Yes.
For this.
Oh,
the,
you
For
did.
the,
You
for the
did.
Devon
That
Sawa.
is
Got
that is the junior.
That is the junior.
And I always want to
haircut.
call him Junior Bevel, but that's the guy from Cool Runnings.
I always want to call him Junior Seau because everybody to me is Junior Seau.
Hey, Junior Bevel. That's
Junior.
that's someone from Cool Runnings.
Oh, that would have been a great one to do with the Olympics.
Feel the
Well,
rhythm.
that's for the Winter
We
Olympics.
do have
so
the Winter Olympics this year. You're right.
No.
We could-
No, next year.
Next year?
This year's World Cup.
It's every 2
Oh,
years. Every
yeah, but I
2
thought we-
years,
It's
every 2
Olympics, World Cup.
Did the
Winter
pandemic throw
Olympics.
us off?
No, it was
The pandemic
2020.
didn't throw us off because we did
2020 in
summer in
Tokyo.
21.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Did they postpone the winter into no? Okay.
So you had summer, winter, and consecutive years.
Okay.
Back to
Because-
Little Giants.
Back to Little Giants.
So
We're never
they
gonna get through this
recruit
movie.
Junior, and then they're standing around at like their first practice,
Yeah.
and the Berminator's mom walks him in, and
I
he's
wrote
like,
her name down.
he's
Keep
like
going. Sorry.
he's like this. His name's Jake.
Yeah.
and he's like this really sickly little kid, and
He's so tiny.
he's like they say that youth sports will be good for him, so. You know, we almost lost him in the birth.
Oh, dude, she talks about this horrific pregnancy.
We tried for 13 years.
Yes.
And then
He is our only child. The pregnancy was awful. The second that I was born, I spent 9 months
I
on
spent
my back.
9 miserable months on my back
If I had rolled over, I could have lost him.
in the birth.
Then the birth, he was born. He was 1 pound.
Spent
Like
the first 6
6
weeks
ounces.
of his life in an incubator.
Yeah.
Good
Like,
Lord.
oh my God.
I don't think God wanted you to
And then
produce,
when
dude.
it
Like,
finally gives him a chance to talk, he's like, yeah, my shrink told her that I needed to get out more.
My shrink told her I got to get out more. And he has a snot bubble, and Tad comes over and
cool. He's like, thanks.
I needed that.
Oh gosh.
yeah.
dude.
So they're
the bodily
practicing.
functions of this movie.
So then they go through like the practicing and all that, and they get to the point where they're practicing like the quarterback play, and
Yeah.
Hayden can't catch anything. And Danny's like, timeout. And he goes, here you go, Junior. And he hands him a roll of toilet paper, and they run the same play, and he catches it in the end zone. And he's like, okay, guys, from now we're going to play with this. And he's like, put this in the bathroom.
Put the football in the bathroom. Yes. No, the great is that they get like all this secondhand equipment, and
Yeah.
he just dumps a big box onto the ground. And Tommy comes over, and he's
cowboy.
pulling, the cowboy, and he's holding a cup over his face, and he's doing this.
Tommy,
and he's like,
I'm not sure, but I don't think that goes there.
and then Zoltar gets a Darth
but
Vader.
even worse.
I was going to say the worst part is
turns
what's
and
next.
said, all right, guys, let's be careful because some of this equipment is used.
Has been used before.
And
Yes.
that kid is holding a cup over his face.
Nothing looks clean. Nothing looks clean. No, but Zoltek getting the Darth Vader
Yeah,
helmet
half the
as
Darth
his-
Vader. Just the helmet part of the Darth
That's
Vader
it.
helmet.
It's just plastic. It's not
Yeah.
protecting it.
No, and that plastic is so thin. I've played with one of those helmets before.
That's right,
And if
yes.
if somebody hit that thing, it's just gonna snap and
Junior
fly away.
and, Junior
Yeah.
and Hanan are like the only two that actually have football helmets.
Yeah, actually have quality
Becky's
helmets.
using the go-kart helmet.
With the skull and
with the
crossbones
skull
on
and
it.
crossbones.
Which makes her look like a bobblehead.
Marcus
It does.
Marcus
That's weird.
is using like another go-kart helmet. Tad is using a bike helmet.
Yeah, it's not even that. I think I swear one of the kids is wearing like a rugby helmet, one of those soft
Yeah.
ones that just has a little bit of cushion on the front. I'm pretty sure I saw
But then
one,
you get the scenes where like none of them can do the monkey bars, and like
Yeah.
they're running, and like Tad covers himself up when the pass comes, like all
yeah.
this stuff.
And they can't run through the little like pressure
then
cone.
Junior-
It keeps showing them like do all the different things and then cutting back to them like individually going and doing the monkey bars, and like one can't even get to one.
Yeah.
And like, oh, he does two, and then Tad gets pretty far and falls, and then I think he's the last one of like
Zoltek.
all of them. And then at the end of the whole montage of them like training, here comes Zoltek, and he tries going, and he falls, and when he starts to fall, the camera cuts down. And all the kids are laying there in a pile.
Still there.
And Tad is on the top, like with this horrified look on his face. And when it cuts to black, you hear the fart go off. Like, oh, jeez.
Wait,
dude.
doesn't Tad have a moment where he looks at the camera and he goes, God, no.
that's
so
later.
funny, dude.
That's later.
He's so funny.
That
So,
kid, yes.
Then
I hope he kept
the
working.
big like turning point in the movie is the two old guys call Kevin,
Dude,
and
what is wrong with these
Great.
guys?
It's a small town.
and
There's
they're like,
nothing
they're
else
like,
to
I got
do.
a
They're
hot
retired.
tip for you. I got a hot tip for you, Heisman. There's a new family in town, the
And it-
Capiches.
And it keeps cutting.
Between the two phone conversations,
And one's on the phone with Kevin, and one's on the phone with Danny, and
Yeah.
they're saying
like the same stuff.
almost to the line, to the letter,
Yeah,
the
He's
exact
he's got a
speech.
big kid.
You get
Oh
A,
yeah, how
B,
big?
A, B, yes, yeah.
Oh yeah, how big? Let's put it this way: if it was a trout, you wouldn't throw him back. He's like, God, thanks, I owe you one.
And then so they basically tell him that there's this new family that moved into town, and they have
mutant
Lawrence
son.
Taylor
Yeah,
as
they have a
kid.
mutant. No, you ever played Pigskin? It's the troll.
Troll.
Oh man.
But so then Kevin jumps in his Corvette, and
Danny gets in the
Danny
go-kart.
jumps in the go-kart, and they start going over to see who it is, and they pull up to a red light, and Kevin looks over, and there's Danny in the go-kart, and he's like,
Yeah.
what's up? And he's like, just taking it out, checking the timing.
Checking the compression.
Yeah.
Becky said it was acting a little weird. I'm like, oh, okay. And they go down to the next light, and they stop, and he's like,
You follow me?
no, you follow me? And no. And it's like, you guys went one block.
Yeah.
Like, how
Not
would
really
you...
following you.
You lying to me? No.
No.
He's mine, Danny.
And then they start racing.
Yeah.
And
20 horsepower go-kart versus
Yeah, but you get the train crossing.
that's
that's
what
where
it
he
is.
catches
train
up.
crossings where he comes around.
And
yeah.
Danny almost murders himself to get across the train.
That would have been like assisted suicide, I think, in some ways. But yeah, no. So they make it to Spike's house, and of course, this kid is monstrous. And I don't know if anyone you remember, like, if you've ever tried to pick up one of these.
old school refrigerators.
Yeah, these old school refrigerators from like the 60s. Those things weighed 150.
And he's
at least.
10.
Yeah. And he's
way more than that.
buffing it.
Like
dude. This thing's
300
ridiculous.
pounds.
Yeah, easily.
And he's
So
carrying it
heavy.
on his back.
Yeah. Down the ramp of a U-Haul.
And his dad has like the high top army flat top.
He has
Yeah.
a flat top.
And he's
Yeah.
like, I've been cultivating him.
I rub his...
Each night before he goes to sleep,
muscles.
I rub his hamstrings with evaporated milk, which wouldn't do anything except make it real sticky and put ants
That's
in your
really
bed. I'm just,
dumb, dude. Why?
And he's like,
Why?
ew. He won
Dad,
the, he-
stop touching my upper thighs, bro.
He won,
I don't
he won
need
the
this.
punt pass kick division of 12-year-olds when he was 8 years old.
Yeah.
Did his first pull up, 13 months. Give me 10. He
Slaps his head on the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Dude,
He's doing chin-ups on his arm.
This poor child's just grunting through most of this movie.
and he has like a gold tooth.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
he does.
weird.
He has a filling, probably from like fighting, but that's played by Sam Horrigan, who I don't know. There was another great '90s movie that we're gonna have to do. He was the villain in the movie Brinks. Did you ever watch that?
No.
I mean, that was definitely
It's
after your time.
Brink was one that was like on Disney
Brink,
Channel
yeah,
constantly.
and it was about roller skating for some reason. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
really remember.
Taylor was probably really
Yeah,
shout
probably.
out to Taylor.
So yeah, no. So he's a beast. He's a monster kid. And he's just grunting, and half the time he's speaking in
Yeah.
the third person.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the dad thinks that Danny is Kevin O'Shea.
Because he just
Yes.
says, hey, Coach O'Shea.
Coach
Yeah,
O'Shea.
and he's like, you look a little small for a football star. He's like, that's what they all thought.
That's what they all thought.
Play it high.
Knees high.
Knees high, and
But
just immediately.
so in the interview that I saw
child.
with Becky and Spike later on in life, they all have the highest of praise to talk about the dad with the high top fade.
Oh yeah.
They said that he was just such a wonderful, wonderful man, but he would like work so hard to stay in like really, really good shape.
Brian
that, like,
Haley?
Yeah, Brian Haley. And they would like during like lunch and everything, like they would break for lunch and he would go run like 2.5 miles.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he looks like a fitness man.
And just he
Yeah.
was like so kind to them. They said that he was just so not, and like everybody was, but he was like extra like fatherly to them, and he
It's
was
gotta
really
be like
cool.
super jarring, like when people character act like that.
Yeah,
Because like I remember even when I was little and my oldest brother was like a Roman centurion in this play, and he would like shove me down. I'm like, hey, stop. Like he's
he's like, no, bitch.
asshole.
He just knew he's like the insurance pays for this one. Family to family.
There's gonna be no lawsuit with this one.
These brothers will hate each other after this Christmas pageant.
Yes. Dude. Well, like I think that's for me. I love hearing stories like that because it's like, dude, like that's what this should be all about. Like how fun this is that, you know, kids getting to be in these movies and, you know, make these jokes and these scenes. And so
the company makes money. Like
right.
everybody wins.
And it's so heartbreaking now that you hear all this stuff from Quiet on the Set. You know, everybody, all these molesters and horrible people working with children and pulling shit. And you're just like, bro, why? Like, how could you be such a heinous, awful person to like make this wonderful experience? You know, not just be like you said, where that guy who was so loving and, you know, was giving and just, you know, father figure on set and was making everybody happy. I was like, that's what this shit's supposed to be about. Yeah. And like, fuck these people who ruined those childhoods and have now subsequently ruined those shows. Like for me to watch, I'm like, oh Jesus, why are they doing feet stuff again?
That's why I won't watch.
No.
Like I won't watch Quiet on the Set.
Oh, dude, yeah, I kind of wish I hadn't, and maybe just watch the Twitter feed a little bit that's come from it. But
like, I just don't need to know.
Still need to know.
It's like Kroll. You don't need to
feel bad. I feel awful, you know, for anybody involved. But like, I just like that's just yes, the world is a dark place.
Yeah,
and that's why I could have a whole show called Nostalgia Land After Dark that would just you know destroy my livelihood.
Getting back to the movie, Spike gets to the practices and it's just not going well. Like they're tripping over each other.
No, I love it when he first meets Icebox.
Oh yeah, who's Spike's lead blocker?
That's it.
The Icebox.
Yeah.
Spike she shows mistaken? Up. Aren't you a girl? And he goes,
a girl.
Gee, good eye. Spike don't play with girls.
Spike don't play with girls. That's the one for me, dude. It's when Spike mistaken? Aren't you a girl?
Look, you berserko Barbie doll.
That's it.
Oh, what position? Anywhere. Oh, he's a halfback. Oh, and now he can run the annexation of Puerto Rico.
What's the annexation of Puerto Rico? I don't know if we're ready for that.
Yeah, then he says, what formation do you like to run out of? Power I. You put the ball here.
Next time, hey, pretty boy.
Yeah.
Next time you hand the ball up to Spike, put it here. Boom.
Bro, dude, like this kid.
And then he turns around. He's like, and you fat lineman. And so he's like, you ran.
He's like, when you mess with Spike, you mess with death.
But anyway, then the dad shows up in Kevin O'Shea's Corvette. He's like, oh, you think you're pretty slick? He's like, I said I was Coach O'Shea. I never said I was Kevin.
Never said I was Kevin. Never said I was Kevin.
But they take him away, and then they all start arguing over why like Spike left. And they're like, oh, shut up. You stop crying all the time, you big baby. You're probably...
Dude,
so this is the weirdest part about Hanen's character, Hot Hands' character.
Yeah.
So Tad, I think it's Tad, says some line about how Hanen sucks.
Yeah.
And Zoltek defends
him.
At
least he can catch, crush, jerk.
Yes. Like Zoltek steps right in and rips Tad. And then Tad says something back to Zoltek. And then Hot Hands jumps on and makes fun of Zoltek, who just defended him.
Yes.
And with such vitriol and hatred.
That's what I'm saying. This kid is filled with rage.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, shut up, Junior. You're so good it makes us sick. And he's like, you don't want me to play? No problem.
Yeah. Takes off his helmet. I'm out.
Wait, is that the same part where like Marcus, because that's the line I say all the time when people are like upset a little bit. And like sometimes when I'm in a fight with my wife.
It's about, this is where that happens.
Sometimes if we ever come up to an argument with my wife or anything like that, I have the hardest time not going, well, you're not invited to my birthday.
Yeah, so they're fighting and he's like, well, I hate you. He's like, well, you can't come to my birthday. And it's Hanen who goes, so what?
So what? That's it. It shoves it. Yes. Yeah. I say that line so often.
So Icebox and Junior leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
they're all sitting around like
they're all like pissed off, and then Tad's like, screw this,
He's
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And it's the shot of him coming like towards the camera on his bike with training wheels.
Oh, he does have training wheels, Tad.
And then like a
this poor kid,
like a famous person's bus, like a tour bus, comes up over the
giant ass Greyhound,
and comes up over the hill and pulls over to the side of the road to ask this small child for directions to Canton, Ohio. Which this part always, even when I was a kid, I was like, why are they asking this little boy? Like, John Madden gets out, which
rest in peace.
Is so accurate because John Madden was scared of flying. So he would travel on a bus all over the country. So like if
he had to do like Raiders 49ers and then Patriots Giants, he had to drive cross country to get
Wow,
there.
dude.
Well, he didn't have to drive.
Well, but he had
just
to be in a bus.
ride.
I have a feeling though, John was like, "Oh, let me get on the wheel there. We're gonna go right." In.
He
I
always
love-
sounded like he was drunk.
He got out, yeah. Well, I love that he gets out and he's like, "We're trying to find Canada Ohio. We started here. We made our back way
First we got
headed
here, we
to
went
there."
down I-17. Then we wanted to take a shortcut. Then we got lost. Then we come back with 10, 12, 48.
We don't know where the heck we are now.
We're
then
trying to hit
boom.
Canton, and we have to hit it hard.
Yes,
And I
that's
don't
it.
know where the heck we are.
Hey, Bobby, go to the popcorn. It's a bad
Hey.
TV sketch.
Hey, folks, John Madden here for the quick pop popcorn popper.
Hey, John, how's it work? Well, it's simple,
And
Fred.
it's Bobby Lee.
It is. It's Bobby Lee from now famous Bad Friends.
You put it in, open up butter packet. It's a dang butter packet.
That's one of the best sketches they did because it explodes.
And it's Frank
burns him.
Caliendo
Yeah.
who does that. Who does like the
So
hold
many
the
good-
calls.
Yeah.
No more John Madden. Like, that's it.
Yeah, Frank Caliendo has the authority on that.
Yeah.
On John.
But
So yeah.
So he's with a bunch of like people that are being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh yes, yeah.
And they bring him back and he's like, guys, and they're like, what do you want? He's
Well,
like,
he opens
"Guys?"
the big door just
Yeah.
enough for him to be in there, and he's like, "Hey guys, what do you want? What now?"
Yeah.
And he keeps pushing the door, and he's like, "Let's play some football."
And it's Bruce Smith,
Emmett
Emmett
Smith.
Smith,
Troy something.
yeah, the lineman, the white guy.
Yeah, I can't remember.
They say if I can find
But
it.
and
other
like
two
John
guys.
Madden is
It's
there with him.
it's the 4 players when they open the door.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that white guy, dude, he puts his hand down in the dirt.
He has Becky's.
Yeah, there's
Helmet.
a skull on his hand. But
Get the fear out of your eyes. Let's go.
he's pumping Zoltek up, trying to teach him to attack and be tough.
Steve Empman,
Yeah.
Bruce Smith, Emmett Smith, and Tim Brown.
Tim Brown. I knew Tim Brown.
Yeah.
And then he says, football is 80% physical,
No,
80% mental, and 40% physical. And Zoltek goes, yeah. And then he turns around and it like thinks about it for a second. He goes, what? Like, what an idiot.
And then he's like, you know what this? And then they go to Bruce Smith, and he's like,
Yeah.
you know what this is called?
Yeah.
And pops
Bust
a
their-
football.
That
like,
was like
dude,
our only one.
I was going to say, so dirty and like beat up that thing. This is our only
That was the one.
football.
That was the one from the bathroom.
Oh,
Intimidating.
that was the bathroom football. You're
He's like,
right.
let me
But
see
now
your game
what are we going
face
to wipe
in there.
with?
Well, Junior's got so they can put the.
Be like, hey, Mr. Smith, you might want to wash your hands after that one.
Yeah, I pooped earlier.
Zoltek was in there.
And then he gets him to like, let me see your game face, and they run at him, and he flexes.
Yeah.
And they all run away.
Yeah, dude, I would too. You guy's
Hell
gonna
yeah,
break your
dude.
skull with his bare hands.
You can crush a football, you can crush a head.
And
And
then
then-
Emmett Smith tells them like they just have to believe that they're big and
I believed within myself
yeah,
that I was a giant.
yeah.
I wasn't always the
You were a
biggest.
cowboy, Emmett. Shut up.
Even though they're not big, they're not strong, they're not the fastest, they could still do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just very very pep talky kind of things.
And then, and then you have John Madden with the geeky character Richie. I think it's
No.
Richie.
I think it's Richie. I think
Isn't
it's
it
Morris?
Morgan?
Morgan?
Or
Maurice?
Morris? You said it earlier.
Oh, I did. Let me see.
His name is the kid's name.
It's Murphy?
No, he was talking about the kicker.
I was talking about Marcus, the kicker,
Never mind.
which my brother is Chinese and also.
It's
kicker.
newbie Matthew McCurley.
His name is Marcus too. Matthew
McCurley
McCurley
is newbie, who's the
Yeah, so he's talking to newbie.
So he's talking to newbie, and he's talking about he's like, chucks the big bomb halfway down the field. Tar hopefully still wide open, tailback. He's like, that's not bad.
Yeah.
And he's like, I call it the annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And the best is he has the play like loaded into a Super Nintendo with a copy of John Madden football printing out the play. And then John Madden's like, he's like, the problem is we don't have a tailback. And he's like, why don't you try this? And
Yeah.
he like rewrites it for him.
Yeah.
Well, put over here and then popcorn.
And then he's like, what? How? Do you have any tips for me about the big game?
Yeah, Danny says to him, "Hey, coach, before you leave, you have any advice?
Yeah.
Got a kind of a big game coming up." And he's like, "Good luck." And he still goes to get on the bus. He's like,
Awesome.
That's it? That's all you have?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, see you kids." Well, yeah. I mean, it's just football. Like, the best thing you can do, stick together. You're a team, and a football team is like a family. You know, I had a team that we went to the Super Bowl. and we won. And I had some players that nobody wanted. But we stuck together. We played like a team.
It's like a family, except you get to hit each other.
Good advice.
You obviously don't have brothers because you get hit.
Yeah, you hit each other in a family.
You
all
ever
the
just
time.
walk into the breakfast room and someone punches you in the back of the head? That's family.
There's an old couch
You guys
that
had
has
a breakfast room?
There's an old couch that has my body imprint in it from Powerbomb chokeslam.
No, we missed one of the best scenes though, because I guess they find out about Junior. And Junior is also his mom was Danny's love interest when they were kids.
Was the girl who asked him at the
if he
park.
was okay.
Yeah, if he was okay.
When he was kicking snails.
Super
When he was on the injured list.
they were cute. And both Rick Moranis and them, I was like, oh, this makes sense. This is good acting. Good casting. But anyway, so Kevin O'Shea finds out that Junior has a really good arm and stuff like that. And so him and Butts
Oh my God, yeah.
are like
You're right. Like one of the best. They're
like
probably
in
the best scene of the movie.
Yes. They're in like cat burglar uniforms and they're standing in a bush with binoculars. And the nerdy kid notices them and he's like,
spies.
He's like, where? In the bushes.
All right, guys. We're going to take a 5-minute break. And when we come back, we're going to run the super secret play.
And
I just got to
like,
get the diagram.
Butts is like, they're going to run the super secret play.
And this is where we were talking because we were playing video games together and I was watching the movie and Trey could hear it in my headset.
Yeah.
And I said, dude, until I watched the movie this time, I thought the guy's name was Buzz.
No,
oh, yeah.
It's Butts.
It's Butts.
They got
Butz Butts.
the center's in the backfield. They got the guard to the right.
Well, yeah, they're all like
and the
standing
quarterback isn't even there.
Yeah.
Kevin turns to him and he's like, "You're standing around, Butts." And then the best is
Danny,
yes. They go to the
Danny goes to the
he grabs
payphone.
Tommy.
Yes.
And he's like, state police. Oh, thank God. My name's Nagy Herman. I'm 85 years old. I live in Urbania. There's two grown men in the bushes spying on some kids. He holds the phone. And he's like, please, I just don't think it's right for men that age to be parading around in their underwear. Please hurry.
Tommy, please hurry. And he goes, and he hangs up.
Cuts back. He's like, good job.
Good job.
Yeah. And it cuts back to them, and you just hear freeze, and it's 3 state troopers with their guns.
And they get arrested because they were peeping toms in a way. But like, I love the explanation after. He's like, I gotta hand him my Kevin. He's like, I gotta hand him my brother. He called the state police rather than the local police. He's like, that's pretty smart, actually.
Because he knew the local police would know him.
Yeah, they would know Kevin.
Kevin, what are you doing?
Yeah,
we're just trying to figure out the play.
That, and then he's trying to teach, I guess, his only 4 tacklers.
Yeah, Sean Murphy,
on
Briggs,
his team.
and
Yeah,
and having his wife hold the pad.
Yes, and his wife is barely standing there. She can't weigh more than $105. She's standing there with a couch cushion, and she's holding back full 12-year-olds, 10, 12-year-olds
in full pads,
and she's just like pushing them over one by one.
And it's Icebox.
Yeah.
Yes,
that they've drawn on the.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
couch
true.
cushion.
It is Icebox.
And then he's like, and then Kevin's like, let the master show you how it's done.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And this guy
This
runs.
wife does the exact thing that she should have done.
He's running
Amen to her,
full speed at this couch cushion, and she's like, Kevin, and she drops
lets
the
it
couch
go,
cushion,
steps out of the way,
and he wraps this couch cushion and goes out the window.
Yes. He falls out of his 2nd-story living room, I'm assuming. I guess
they got a den up there or something.
Yeah, it's like a den, or
And he
they
hits
into
the
a
tree
pool.
branch
with his junk.
His above ground pool.
Yeah,
he has
he
all this
lands
money, but he can't put in a pool.
on the
Can't
tree
dig a
branch with his
hole.
junk, then
He's like,
falls into
"Oh,
the pool.
Doctor.
Yes.
It's funny because later, they're laughing and they're watching the movie, and if you see it, it's like from different angles. They're using it right out of the film.
out of the
it's
camera,
not,
out of the camcorder.
Well, it's not film from the camcorder that they're using. It's like
Oh,
from
it's right out of the movie.
Yeah, it's
camera.
right out of the
Okay.
movie.
Taking Spaceballs when they're watching the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in now.
When will then be now?
Soon.
Never show this footage again.
Yeah,
So-
and then you get the whole after John Madden goes, and it's
They're
like
at
the night
night.
before the big game.
Yes.
And you get the kicker
Yes.
doing the eyeball,
Oh,
It's
yes,
so funny how
Marcus.
they do this.
He's going,
and he's
Yeah.
like, and then you see him,
yeah.
and then he's like,
Well, no, it's like
starts off as 3 little lines.
he puts the thing here, and then it
puts-
cuts away.
Yeah,
And it's like somebody else
to
doing
Zoltek.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zoltek, dude.
And he's like, they're like, now you have good dreams. I don't even want you to think about football.
Both are there tucking him in.
Yeah. Okay, Daddy.
Okay, Dad.
He sounds like Bobby. Be like, okay, Dad.
Okay, Dad.
And when they pull the covers up, it pans down to his feet, and he's wearing his cleats
in bed,
covered in mud,
dirty as hell.
Dirty.
Well, they play in like that sand lot behind the gas.
Get the grass and shit from there. But yeah, it's just dirty as anything. And then it cuts over to
Hanan,
in the yard with his dad, like, give me pads, Dad.
Come on, tomorrow's the big one. Don't let me down.
His dad just throws like 100 balls and he drops every single one of them.
Oh, his poor
But his dad's
too.
so patient. He's like, you got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Just so happy to be there.
Throwing it. Okay.
He's like Carl Winslow.
Try again.
Then it cuts
After ball 3, I'd be like, damn it, son.
Well, no, it cuts back to him,
What?
and it cuts back to
Marcus.
Marcus, and he's drawn like a line down the center, and he's got like a shape up here.
He's putting it over this
Yeah.
eye.
He's going for blackface at this
No,
point.
no, that's
kidding,
the
no.
third time it cuts to him.
Okay.
They cut to him in the middle, and he has like one here and like a couple up here, and you're like, wow, that's a little much. Like,
Yeah, hey, bud. I
and then
think
it
you got
cuts to
enough.
like Johnny, whose dad is going on another business.
Yeah, dude. Everybody's doing all this funny stuff, and then it cuts to Johnny, and it's like his dad's abandoning him again. That's so sad for Johnny.
He's like, I'm sorry, bud.
I'm gonna tell you this right
Seriously.
now. There's a lot of Chef Boyardee cans in Johnny's house.
Oh,
that's,
for sure.
That's how that kid's getting nutrition.
Yeah.
Because
And then-
mom's not around, dude.
then
I haven't seen mom at all.
No.
Cuts
one
to
time.
Tad doing pull-ups.
Yeah.
He's doing pull-ups with two, and then he like
Goes to
lets go and grabs one arm.
4,
Yeah.
5, 6.
And when the camera finally pans down, he's standing on a trash can that's on top of a board game, which means this kid weighs so little that he can't even crush a board
crushing
game
a
on
board
top
game.
of a trash
And he's
can.
just basically doing squats.
Yeah.
Oh my
Exactly.
gosh, dude.
And when
then-
you go back and you watch it, you can totally tell because like he's I mean, obviously he's barely lifting weight, but he gets to the top and like you can see his hand like relax.
Yeah.
Like he's not even holding onto the bar and
Yeah.
stuff. It's very funny.
Dude,
And then
so
it cuts back to Marcus, and he's just covered in.
He's drawing like the last line across the top of his forehead.
And
Oh,
he's
Lord,
in
this
full
movie.
war paint.
And he
at
looks
this
so
point.
happy. He's almost full blackface.
That's what
Like
I
he
was
might as
saying.
well paint a big white circle around his lips with red lips and
So, whoa,
Yeah, like,
whoa,
stop.
Marcus. Stop.
you're gonna regret this in like 30 years.
No, don't sing. Stop singing. Don't do the jig. Okay, you're off the
So
team.
then
You're out.
it
Marcus,
cuts,
you're off the
and
team.
then it cuts to them in the locker room the next day,
Yeah.
and they're all hyped up. They're
Well,
like,
we forgot. We got to back it up
oh,
because Becky
oh yeah,
Becky
is having all of these feelings for Junior,
it hurts.
and we didn't even talk about the car wash. But they're at the car wash
Getting there nice and deep.
trying to raise money for uniforms, which this was so funny. I don't know if any of you caught this. To me, it was very funny. But Butts pulls up.
and he does
And
the whole
he's making fun of them and talks about how he would lead them to
Water.
drown.
Yeah.
And then they're like, he says, that'll be, he's like trying to just shut him up. And he says, that'll be $1 for a wash.
Yeah.
You're the 10th car. So they've made
$10.
$9. How are you going to buy uniforms charging $1 for a car wash?
No.
Come on, dude. This is stupid.
Someone's
But
out.
anyway, so it's just for this joke. But then they start washing his car. His car has a top down, so they start spraying inside his car and throwing water in there and everything. And
Great scene.
then Becky and Junior
Have like
start
a little water war.
start kind of flirty, playing with each other, spraying water, throwing the sponges. Then her cousin shows up, who's the cheerleader,
in her uniform.
and she's like, "Oh, check it out! Oh, my mom got these for us. Oh, it's so cool." Then she goes over. I'm gonna go show Junior. I can't believe you get to be in the huddle with Junior Floyd. Oh my god! So
Her
she
voice,
goes
like,
over.
Her and Rick Moranis have they have a recurring role. She's in Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves.
Okay.
She's the
yeah.
oldest daughter in Honey,
Yeah.
We Shrunk Ourselves.
Oh, crazy.
But so then she goes over and she starts talking to Junior, and then they start kind of flirty playing, like throwing soap at each other and stuff. And all I could think was like, why are you upset? But then Becky's all like, oh, he's going to want her.
Yeah.
He literally started it with you. She had to go over and start this nonsense with him.
Yeah, dude.
But whatever. So
They have that
stupid.
scene by the lake, and they're talking about it. It's
Kissing
like,
and
but
all
you're
that, yeah.
not a girl. You're the ice box.
I
Which
thought
was
it was
like,
so funny
hurts.
in that scene where she's like, yeah, but you have to learn to kiss and stuff. And he's like, no, you don't. And she's like, yeah, if you want to like grow up and have kids and get a job and stuff. And she's like,
get a job.
And she says,
You can have kids
well,
without
and she
kissing.
says, he says, you can have kids without kissing. And she goes, yeah, but you can't get a job. And he's like, yeah, but I'll just be a teacher. Like, it's such a little kid conversation. Yes. It was so good how they did this. And like,
I didn't catch
it was delivered so well that it was just like two idiot children.
You can have kids without kissing. Yeah, you can't get a job.
And he's like fine with that. But I could be a teacher because anybody could just be a teacher.
Teachers are miserable assholes.
Teachers don't procreate. That's why they don't kiss.
I'm trying to procreate.
Hey, you know what? Dun, 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 dun.
Just your face. Hey, you know what?
There's a lot of great teachers out there. That's what I'm saying.
Yep, good teachers.
And there's also a lot of great people that don't procreate.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, who would you want to kiss? Because it all starts because they see that she's lusting after the people making out on the boat.
Debbie.
Yeah, and then
I don't know.
He walks up and is like,
tonsil hockey.
Ew, that's disgusting.
Yes.
And she says, well, if you had to learn, and he's like, if I had to learn, if I actually, no way out of it. No, can't get out of it.
Had to learn how to
I guess I'd want to learn with, let me guess, Debbie, who's her cheerleader cousin.
Debbie.
And he's like, I don't know, maybe.
He's like, this is really weird.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to have this conversation.
That's a weird conversation to have, bro.
And then he says, she's like, well, you wouldn't want to learn with me. And he's like, yeah, you're cooler than that. Like, you're the icebox. You're the only girl I know who can beat up my dad. And all I could think was like, yeah, she's a tough 11-year-old or whatever girl.
Yeah.
But then boys start to grow.
But
hey, also
how big of a pansy is your dad, dude?
Well, I think his dad's dead.
No.
You can beat up my dad. He's a corpse.
His parents aren't even in the movie, so that's true.
Just his mom.
Just his mom.
That's right. Because his mom is the...
And his dad better be dead.
His dad better be dead.
Hello.
You show up from a divorce and Rick Moranis took over? What?
Shit. Hit me with the shrink ray.
He's so sweet.
Hit me with the shrink ray and now I'm dead.
He's got kind eyes. Let's face it. He's got kind eyes.
He owns his own gas station.
Come on down to Zolinsky, the auto parts kid.
See, Kevin sells the cars, and then when they break down, Danny picks them up.
That's right, with his tow truck.
But anyway, so then, you get the whole, like, Becky wants to be our cheerleader and not...
Yeah.
So they're in the locker room the next morning.
Uncle Kevin
pushes her that way.
I like how they did this in this movie because he's not playing an asshole. He's being a good uncle, and he's being good to Icebox and good for her because he's like, you got to think like a boy. What a boy's like. They like cheerleader girls. They don't want the girl in the huddle with them.
Yeah.
Like he's
not
like
some teammate.
You got to like go with he's not pushing her.
They saved the cat here. He plays this awful character, and it's a script writing thing where it's like you develop this character. He might be a terrible person, but if he saves that cat, you can kind of like him a little bit. You're right. It was brilliant the way he puts it because you're like, you know who that sets up
is his character in Modern Family because he's the same dude.
He is.
He's the football star that like when Manny likes all the like theater and all that. He's like, yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah, like, that might be a great theory, like fan theory, that Kevin O'Shea became. I love Modern Family, and I know his name, but anyways,
Phil, not Mr. Dumphy, because that's
that's
not
Phil's
Phil,
name.
not Phil. Yeah, no, sorry, Sofia Vergara. No, God, what's his?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, but he has that great moment. And she's all concerned. She's like, dude, like, I am a girl, but I like football. And it's like, why is that not okay? And he's totally like, it is okay.
But you may not be able to date dudes like Junior if you play football.
Yeah. Or you just got to be, just way cuter to them. Which I thought
she's so cute.
She's cute.
She is.
If I was a kid and was that age, I totally would have dated her or something like that. But
for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so Kevin has that great moment where she's like, she's like, Uncle O'Shea or Uncle Kevin.
Am I pretty?
Am I pretty? And she's like, no, I think you're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
I was like,
and then leaves.
Took the cat.
Yeah.
Saved that cat.
Then she decides she's going to go to his house and become a cheerleader with her aunt and her cousins. And she goes home and, can't really fault Danny. It's the night before the big game. He's super pumped. He's trying to jack himself up.
And the team was her idea.
Right. Yeah. Trying to jack himself up for the game. No, but I mean in like what he's saying to her. Because he's like, hey, how's my little fullback?
Yeah.
And that's when she gets super pissed.
Your little fullback?
You know what Mom used to call me? Mom used to call me her little princess.
She didn't quit. She just found a better team.
She would tuck me all in.
Yeah.
And she told me that I could be anything. He's like, yeah, you could totally be anything you want to be. She's like, but this is your thing. And he's like, nah, this was your thing. Like, nice try.
No, I'm Danny O'Shea. My brother is Kevin.
Look,
This
I'm a
is
lot of
his
things,
thing.
but until you made me a football coach, I was not a football coach.
I'm surprised she didn't say, I'm glad you see things my way as
Yeah,
she stormed
dude.
up the stairs.
Yeah,
By the
but
way-
then he might have hit her.
By the way, your mother left us. Let's remember
That's
that.
what he
little
says. He's like,
princess shit.
She left. She quit.
Yeah.
Like,
No, she didn't quit. She's found a better team.
wow,
Dude.
that's a good way to look at it, I
We
guess.
need Little Giants too, just to understand that what happened there.
The
'Cause-
dynamic.
Yeah, or Giants, just something before it. They went Giants,
Medium-sized
Little
Giants.
The prequel.
Medium-sized, large Giants.
The squeakquel.
Yeah. They're just Giants. The big issues came to Little Giants. Anyways,
But
And then
anyway,
he takes the
pom pom.
pom pom and the cheerleader uniform up to her room, and he folds it up and puts it on her nightstand, gives her a kiss on the cheek. Like,
Yep.
be you, do you, baby girl, be what you want
this
to
is
be,
what you
do
want
what
to
you
be.
want to do.
Go for it.
And then you get they're in the locker room like Giants, and they're like Spike the icebox is gonna defrost you.
Yeah.
Like and all this
No, they
stuff.
bring in the Reverend.
No, but he's like he's
Yeah,
like
he's ready
he's
to
like a
go.
rabid dog. Like,
Yes. It's like, oh, are you angry?
He's trying to quiet
bring it out. Yeah.
He quiets the team down for the Reverend to pray over them. And he's like, hey, you guys, keep it down. Jesus Christ. And the Reverend's like, what? So he starts praying. Then they start screaming, hollering, pissing
Doesn't
him
he go,
off.
what the hell?
Yeah,
What the
Again,
hell?
the Reverend's like,
You're like, come on, dude.
bro, work
And then,
on it.
So then they're all hyped up, and then Becky walks in a cheerleading outfit, and
Just
they're all
want
like,
to stop by and say good luck.
Oh, yes,
And then-
crushed.
And Marcus, the kicker, is like, Becky?
Becky?
and then they get out on the field, and they're doing the whole like
Yeah.
Cowboys, win, 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 and then the
Yes.
part that you were talking about is Tad, where they're like Giants. He looks up at the camera and he goes, "Help us, God!"
So
How
good.
many times I rewound that part as a kid, and I mean, just back
So
and
good.
forth.
Help us, God.
The plea.
Oh, Tad just doing his thing. Well, like, Berminator, Jake's mom has her moment in the stands where she's like, "It's just so nice to be outside."
My family.
It's so good
Yeah.
for our family to watch him play
Good for our
football.
family, and then he does. He like takes down
He
a
tackles
kid.
Spike.
Yes, he does. And he's like,
Rip their
freaking heads off.
They're
Rip
ripped
their
their
filthy ears off,
That's
Jakester.
Jakester.
Woo, 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 woo.
Yes,
Everyone's like, what the hell's wrong with this lady?
All right,
Um,
okay,
but
keep moving on.
So then they start the game, and they're
Yeah.
at the coin toss, and they're arguing back and forth. And they're like, guys, you're brothers. And Danny's like, not by choice. And I'm like, oh. And so they bet the car dealership versus the
gas station.
gas station
Yeah, but-
on the game.
Yeah,
And then so the Giants kick off.
yeah.
Johnny's holding for the kicker.
That's right, and I wrote this down.
Marcus.
So Marcus is holding for the ball.
Johnny's holding for Marcus.
Johnny's holding for Marcus.
And Marcus
yes.
goes to kick off and just
Just-
lights Johnny up in the crotch. Ding!
Right.
Like if this was Three Ninjas, those lights would have bing.
It was all nads, just foot to nads.
And then
dude.
what does the guy say?
He says the announcer, who's played by someone real famous, I forget who is. Well, I'll find him. But he goes, "Whoo, that's a pound of Aunt Betty's nut butter."
Someone's got a handful
Of,
of Aunt Betty's nut butter.
But that's a live ball, and the Cowboys recover.
Aunt Betty's nut butter.
That
What?
guy is hysterical.
Yeah.
The few lines that he has where he's like, all right, now we're back. All right, the kickoff's about to take place to my right, your left, because you're
Yeah.
listening.
Because
What?
you're listening. Well, like Jake has another great line too, where he keeps going, "Can't see with this thing on."
That's later on.
I had to write a couple of those down, dude, because the big game has some of the best lines.
Well,
It's
in
really
the
funny.
locker room, he brings out the jerseys, and they're
Yes.
like, "Oh," and he's
Oh.
like, "It's got your name on the back." He's like, "Oh,
Death
but the guides at the
shrouds.
morgue can identify the body."
Yeah, that's what Tad says.
That's it. Yeah,
He's
Tad's like,
Death shrouds.
and Jake, so the guys at the morgue.
It is really
identify
funny how,
the body.
like, especially when they're in the locker room, you start noticing, like, all the kids that were never around ever that are now all of a sudden
The
part of the
Cowboys
team.
locker room is like full of people. And
Full.
you're like, where are all all these kids.
And then there's like a kid that
this
looks
kid?
a lot like Zoltek that's in the Cowboys in the Giants locker room, and you're like, wait. And he even says like he has a line. He says like, yeah. At one part, you're like,
Wait.
who are you?
Who's this kid?
But then when they're in the tunnel and they're getting ready to come out, like the Cowboys run out, they break through the banner, and Kevin O'Shea gives them the whole speech about how the football is their life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Their entire
Your
life
hopes and
is
dreams,
football.
Your soul on a roll. It's
like,
your
what the
life.
hell, dude?
And then what does he tell them right before? Remember, it's not just a football.
They all yell, "It's our lives."
It's our lives.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes. Dude.
And then Danny walks up. He's like, remember, guys, it's just a football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just air and pig intestine. They're all like,
Oh, that they run. They can't break through the barrier.
The funniest part about that to me was when he's doing that like speech when they're standing in the tunnel.
Yeah.
There's kids in the background that are like 6 feet tall, and it's like Junior's a big kid,
them.
Yes.
but there's like monstrous giants, and I'm like,
Start-
where the hell are all these kids?
Start Megatron back there. What
like,
are you doing?
Emmett Smith, you were supposed to get back on the bus.
Bruce.
bud.
That would have been really funny if they did that. Like
Oh,
they
that
go out on the
would've been
field,
great.
and Bruce Smith's wearing a super tiny, like he's like,
Like the Ray Lewis cutoff jerseys.
Yes. Like the 70s, like back in the 60s. Yeah.
well, then,
no.
so they go out to the game.
Yep.
And not to run through it too quick, but we're
The first
long
half goes.
here.
It's a long movie.
The first half
in
goes
terms of
how you.
it's so good.
The first half goes how you think it's gonna go.
They go down 21-0.
and
Yeah.
Spike is just it.
Yeah,
Like,
running rough shot.
They got
over.
Rip your head off.
Yeah.
The scene where the Terminator
Terminator.
jumps up onto Spike's back and Spike just runs him down the field. In the interview that I saw with Becky and Spike,
Yeah.
they're talking about how Berman actually went to go do that, and the way they filmed it, since he was so small, like Spike would kind of bend over, so like kind of to
So he
give
could
him more
jump
of
on.
his back.
So jump on.
So you
yeah.
could jump on a little bit, and then Spike would kind of like hike him up onto his back.
Oh,
So
okay.
he would help him up onto his back.
Yeah.
Well, the first time they did it, he went to go jump, and he basically like hit his chest right into Spike's shoulder. Oh no! And he ends up like going to get up, but he doesn't get over enough. So when Spike goes to lift him, he just kind of throws him in the air. And he's like, yeah, dude, he hit the ground so hard, knocked all the wind out of himself. And he's like, oh, I thought I killed him. He's like this little kid is laid on there on the ground like,
Dude, yes.
so funny.
I mean, at 10 years old, maybe he weighed 35
Oh
pounds.
my God, he's so
like they were
small.
trying to get him up to 50,
Yeah, he's
like for his health,
tiny.
dude. He was bird bones.
He's tiny.
He
Yeah.
looked so small. Yeah, great lines in this one. It's like Spike is like, "We're gonna rip your head off," and that's when Berman
He
tucks under.
shimmies his head out
Yes,
of the
under
helmet.
his pads and he rips his head off. Or he
it
does.
doesn't even phase Spike when he runs through and just takes the helmet with him.
He's like, "That's what's supposed to happen."
Yeah, I told you I was
Spike
going
is
to rip your head
supposed
off.
to do.
That's how many-
Spike.
Yeah, Spike takes heads when Spike wants heads. No, but he says something to Zoltek. He's like, I'm gonna hit you so
Oh my
hard
God.
you're gonna
That's Sean
breathe-
Murphy.
Yeah, he's gonna breathe out of your butt and
You're gonna
fart out of your
you're gonna
mouth.
talk out of your butt and
Yeah.
fart out of your mouth.
That's it or
Is
something.
that,
Yeah.
is that
Zoltek-
even physically possible?
yeah.
Yeah, hits him. Great scene. His kid's like in the ground
you
with
okay?
his butt in the air, and he goes, "I think so," because his voice comes from his ass.
And Tad goes, I guess it is possible.
I guess it is possible.
So they go down 21-0. They're all super dejected. They go in for halftime, and Kevin. Oh, and they make the whole bet. Kevin
I
and
said
it-
that in the pregame. Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can hear him on the mic. So the whole stadium hears what a
Yeah.
dickhead Kevin is, basically.
Hey, maybe this I shouldn't buy a car from this
Yeah,
asshole.
seriously.
Is there anywhere else sells cars in this town?
No.
They go in. They go in for halftime, and now it's Rick Moranis' time to shine.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he gives them this whole speech about how one
One
time.
time.
He beat Kevin down Cherry Hill.
Yeah.
You beat Kevin down Cherry Hill.
And then they start with the whole like, oh well, I beat I did a backflip off the high dive. Tad says, and my brother chickened out. And he's like, your brother chickened out?
Ronnie
He's
chickened
a
out.
Marine.
He's
Yes.
a Marine. And then
And
I beat. Oh yeah, I remember. No, that's nothing. I beat both my brothers in the cow dung toss. You beat Matt and Brad in the turd toss.
The turd toss. Yes.
well, then so they get hyped up. They can do it one time.
One time.
One time.
They go back out. The game starts getting a lot closer, and things are going better. And you know,
Get the scene where he pulls him by the face. Is that where you're going?
Go ahead.
No, you got it. You got it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you see the scene where he gains a yard? Or is that what the
Oh
one?
no, that's
yeah.
the first.
That's
one.
hilarious.
Yeah.
That's the thing when they go back in the second half and they move it. Everyone's crowding off the ball. They pull him out. It's like they gain 1 yard.
Second and 9.
Yes. We gained a yard.
The guys in the stands, the dads were screaming game yard.
Freaking out about it.
No, what I was talking about is the game's going too good, and it's a lot is attributed to Junior because like stuff's breaking down, and he's just like taking off.
Yeah.
And then Spike's dad grabs him by the helmet, and he's and he's like, if you don't take Junior Floyd out of this game, you're going to be donating a kidney to Aunt Betty. Get it? And
Yes. I wrote that down. I was like, good Lord.
Yeah.
These people are withholding organs from family members. Like, if you're a donor, you're a donor. But it's like, oh, no, we need both those kidneys for football.
That's right.
So he has like this big run, and he gets up and like celebrates, and Spike just lays into him.
Yeah, dude, kidney shot all the way.
And then he's
Speaking
like,
of kidneys,
well, the best is the ref comes over. He's like, personal foul number 32, White. And Furman's like, hey, I wasn't very nice, you big bully. And Spike just like,
Oh, Spike freaks out. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, dude, that was like 20 minutes after the play. You hit that kid.
Yeah.
he had already gotten up from being hit the first time.
But then that's when Kevin again comes over and saves the cat a little bit, where he's like, hey, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Hammersmith.
And he's like,
We can't,
hey, you know, and he's like, I thought you wanted to win. Not like that.
Not like that.
If you do that again, you and your kid are out of here.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool.
All right. Save the cat again. Yeah.
The dad's like,
Well,
Best play, though.
well, so then
Best play.
now you've hurt Junior,
you can't do that.
and the icebox sees it.
Oh, yeah.
And the icebox decides now it's time to play.
She fucking chucks those pom-poms down on the
And
ground.
she goes into the locker room, and she comes out wearing her football helmet, pads, uniform, and a skirt.
Yeah.
Because I'm still a girl, damn it.
Yeah. Nothing's
And
going to
then
be more insulting
like-
to Spike, though, than
And
that.
then Mr. Hammersmith, Spike's dad's like, what the hell's that girl doing out there? And he's like, and Kevin O'Shea's like, that's not a girl.
Yeah.
That's my niece, Becky. And she's pissed.
Yeah. What's that cheerleader
pissed.
doing with a helmet on?
Yes.
It's no cheerleader. That's
So
my
they start
niece,
running.
Becky.
Yeah, no, they
pissed.
start running great plays, and it's going pretty well. They score a couple points, but they do this great one where they go, well, they're in the huddle, and he's like, well, what's that? And he goes,
So
it's a pitch to Johnny
In the end zone,
Yes.
like down past the end zone, Rick Moranis sees Johnny's dad.
with a can of
He's
Chef
like-
Boyardee.
That's when you get the Zoltek.
He comes running, and he gets the idea, like, oh, let's pitch it to Johnny.
Yes.
So he calls Zoltek, come
You
here.
rang.
You rang.
Check a little flea flicker on too.
I love that. So he goes out there, and they're like, check a little flea flicker on too. And he's like, what's that? Every play, they're all like, what's that?
Which one?
And he's like, it's a pitch to Johnny. He's like, you can't pitch it to Johnny. And he takes his helmet off, and he's like, I'm Johnny.
And they're like, break. And he's the only one.
Yeah, he's like,
Hold on. Can we talk about this?
so they hike the ball, pitch it to Johnny, and he's like, now what? And Becky's like, I don't know, run to him.
Run to him.
And he has this badass run all the way to the end zone where he hugs his dad, and that's where you get like the, oh.
Well, and that's where you get
Game.
Spike and Sean Murphy going into the Gatorade because he's like, and he ducks.
Well, that's Tad.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tad.
Tad
Has a
Spike.
sweet run where he's juking everybody by kind of by accident.
What's the last thing they'd expect? A reverse to me?
They're like, okay.
All right, fine. And then finally, so Junior gets better enough.
Well, they tie the game.
Yeah, tie the game
And with a silver
Junior's like,
streak to Heenan.
I'm coming in
Because
yes.
he pictures the ball becoming the toilet paper
Yeah.
in midair and
We
catches
totally didn't talk about how Heenan tried to put on the tar,
Tried to put the stickum
to his hands, and
then-
then it's on his chest.
And Junior's like, we're gonna run an all go and try to catch the ball. And he's like, no problem.
Yeah. And he's like,
Ready,
and
break.
And then-
Uh-oh.
And then as he goes over to like line up, he's like,
yes.
oh god.
And that's when you get the line that I still, and Tanner uses this line a lot, where he like the ball hits him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
And Spike runs over. He's like, all right, hot hands. You're the best player on our team.
Dude,
He's
and then he
like,
just get he doesn't say anything. It's just like his hands just like
just unconscious, like, patting against his chest.
yeah.
Okay.
But the best is when Heenan actually
God.
catches the ball, and the dad's like, yeah,
dude, his dad is so excited, man.
So
and he does like the
broken up
Spike,
about that.
like the
Yeah.
leg thing.
So
right,
funny.
yes, yeah. So they get to the end. Junior's back in. Icebox is in. It's the full team. It's the team we wanted. Dream team. And they get to it, and he's like, "This time for the annexation of Puerto
because
Rico."
they run it all the way down the field with Spike running it down their throats,
Yeah.
and they get down to within the 1 yard line, and it's fourth down somehow magically
Yeah.
because that didn't make any sense. And there's 10 seconds left in the game,
Yeah.
and they call in a play. The Cowboys, Kevin, like, hey, do this play, and it's a pitch to the right to Spike.
Yeah,
and he's gonna run it in, and that's when
how
Junior's mom runs down and says, "Hey, what's the play they used to win the state championship?"
Oh no, it's Kevin's wife.
No,
it's Junior's mom.
No, it's not Junior's mom.
Yeah.
it is.
Kevin's wife is cheering in the stands.
She is, and that's why she comes down from the stands.
No,
I will
Junior's
argue
mom.
you both on
You'll be
this.
wrong.
Okay, but I will
1,000%.
argue both. It is Kevin's wife who goes, hey, remember that shit story that my husband tells every 20 minutes that we all know
Stop.
by heart?
It's Junior's mom.
Guess what? He's running it now. Okay, I still say it's her.
So she comes down and she's like, "What's the play?" And then he's like, "Oh, okay." So he calls timeout. And he tells him, like, hey, this is going to be the play, whatever. And Icebox goes out and she's running the defense. And so they go to line up because she's like, we can stop him together. Because Zoltek's like, we can't stop him.
He's too strong.
And so right before the snap, they all shift.
Yeah. And down, set, shift.
Yeah.
And they all shift over. And Kevin's like, they know the play. So as the coach...
Call timeout.
You call timeout. You change the play. But no. He just acts shocked.
Yeah.
They run the play. And now here we have the epic meeting of Icebox and Spike in the air.
Yeah.
They come down. Spike is clearly like a yard and a half short of the end zone when he hits the ground.
Yeah.
It cuts back and his head is over the goal line and the ball is not. It's like this
like
far.
under. Yeah. It's like inches. Yes.
So then it's like, okay,
Giants
it's Giants ball.
Yeah.
And now it's time for the annexation of
Yeah,
Puerto
they were
Rico.
like, oh, we'll go to overtime. And they're like, there's still 4 seconds left.
Yeah. So it's time for
And
the
that's
annexation.
when Junior's like, put me in, coach. I want to kick some butt.
Yes.
King and butt is very important in the 90s. That and yes. He says,
Yeah, he's like, what do you got for
Kicking
us?
butt.
What do you got for us, Noom? How about the annexation
Annexation
of
of
Puerto
Puerto
Rico?
Rico,
And it's
which-
basically a fumble rooski.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
hike the ball, and they think they're going to give it to Becky. And then Zoltek picks it up.
Holds it.
So you get the... and then he does like a lateral to Junior.
Well, Ed O'Neill going, he doesn't have the ball. She doesn't have the ball.
Fumble-rooski. And then you get the dad, Spike,
Yes.
get the ball.
Well, Spike tackles Icebox and she's like, no. He's
goes-
like, no mercy. And she goes, no ball.
Which she doesn't have. So.
He does a great face and no one appreciates like he turned.
And then
God.
Spike's the one who ends up hitting Junior. He
Yeah.
catches Junior. And Junior laterals to Jake.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to score a touchdown. I'm going to score a touchdown.
Oh, no, you're not.
He runs into the goalpost.
Yeah, the kid dives and completely misses by like
Not
a
even
mile.
yeah, dude.
close.
You need to, hey, remember all those things the fundamentals you shouldn't taught your team coach? Maybe tackling was
Yeah.
one of them. Like, no,
And then he runs into the goalpost and falls over.
Yeah.
And they win the game.
They win the game, and the whole time Kevin and Danny are like, "You're not going to hold me." To the
Yeah, and
whole
he's like,
line."
there's always gonna be a job for you, Danny O'Shea Chevrolet.
Yeah.
We'll start your commission. And then he's like, well, what do you want? And he's like, well,
there is one
and
thing.
then you get the O'Shea brothers.
Yes, they changed the signage on the water tower to "Home of the O'Shea Brothers."
Because, winning a Heisman Trophy and making the NFL the same as winning a Pee Wee football game.
And running the gas station. It's a local landmark. He says it. It's been there 100 years.
More like a landfill.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man, so that holds it for us with Little Giants. I cannot recommend this movie enough for your kids to watch and family, and give it a rewatch because it is so funny.
It's good.
Dude, it's a top 10. I know you guys are looking for sports.
No, I'm looking for the scene we were arguing
He's looking
about.
for the scene.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're looking for that? Okay, we'll just go back through the movie. It's in there.
I know.
I guarantee you it is Kevin's wife. Internet, hold me up to it because I want to hear your comments. It's Kevin's wife who comes down to be like, hey, Danny, my piece of shit husband has one story and one play to run. Let's figure out which one's going to be. And she knows immediately it's the one that he scored the winning touchdown to win
The internet sucks
championship. Heisman.
Yeah.
Internet's terrible. You can tweet me later about it.
I don't tweet.
I don't tweet. Or X. You can X me later. X about that sounds gross. Actually, I don't like
it does.
that. Damn it, Elon! Why you gotta change something like that? Anywho, so that takes it for us. Thank you so much for joining us, Tyler. You want to take us out?
Yes, you can check us out on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTokies. Please like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share it, tell your family and your friends about it. We try to build a community, like we always say. Check us out on the shops on Etsy. We are nostalgialand.podcast.
Yep.
And nostalgialand.com is our website.
Nostalgialandpodcast.com.
NostalgialandPodcast.com. Yep.
Shut up.
You had it. No, you did it. Well, Etsy, and then Etsy is Nostalgialand Shop. That's
there
all.
you go.
One of these days, well, if you're watching on YouTube, I will post the links on
There
the
you go.
In the description below.
Yeah, we just, if you have suggestions, we got some people suggesting things, and we have them coming up soon.
I did get a suggestion, actually.
Okay.
This week from our friend Anthony Santaselmo, who lives in Atlanta.
Cool.
He runs the Mondo Video basement shop. Have I told you about him? He created a classic old school like video rentals shop in his basement.
Oh, cool.
It's awesome. It's so cool. But we text about movies and stuff. He had a request, and that is Warriors of Virtue. Which I know both of you have. Have you heard about that movie?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
It is Kung Fu Kangaroos, and that is all I will start with, and we will get to it because it's amazing. It is
Kung Fu Kangaroos.
Such a good movie.
Crazy.
It's so fun. Anyway, so that was his latest request, fan. So yeah, please, sorry to continue. I don't want to interrupt.
Yes. But yes, that's the most important thing is we're trying to build a fan base. We're trying to build a community where we can discuss old things and live, nostalgia out with each other and bounce ideas off each other and make the show better. We appreciate everybody that listens, and I'm really close to finding out this scene right now, so that's why I'm kind of stalling.
Gotta keep it.
But the internet in this room kind of sucks.
Couple weeks until we edit this,
and I really have to pee, so this is not really worth it.
We'll put it on next week's episode.
We can talk about it. Yeah, we can say, hey, did you ever figure that out on next week? We can do that.
Dude, I'm like 2 seconds away, but this freaking video will not load.
Doesn't want to load. I
Sucks.
swear
I hate you.
It's Kevin's wife.
Sorry.
I know.
It's
not.
Kevin's wife. I'm right.
Oh, look right there.
It's Patty
There's
Floyd.
Junior's mom telling him.
That is not Junior's mom.
That's
That's
Patty
Kevin's
Floyd.
No,
wife.
Kevin's wife is wearing a blue sweater because
But
she's a Cowboys fan.
Why would Junior's mom?
Because she was there.
He tells
She was there. No, she wasn't. Why would she
The state
know?
championship
high school.
game.
High school.
High school. No, that's not Junior's mom. I'm fighting against
It's all right.
this. It's not
Now
that.
I have shown video proof that you're
Anyways.
wrong.
As always, I'm Matt.
I'm Trey.
And I'm Tyler. Cowbunga.
I'm right.
I have a problem with being right.